forecast.
I've already seen like -20 or something like that. Yeah.
The high is supposed to be a 6 on that day, right? In 2016, it was 76 degrees on that same day. 70 degrees colder we're going to be from what it was in 2016. So close the forecast. And
yeah, so Saturday gets nasty about 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then Sunday is fine. And then the Arctic air moves in like Monday afternoon. And then like, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is like the high is like the highest it gets is 10.
Yeah.
And those like 72 hours.
Yeah. It's going to be beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
You know, it's like what they say. Oh, computer's not on. It's like what they say when it comes to, this time of year. I can't, is it not?
Is it not working? No computers? Computers don't work? There it is.
Okay.
In the words of Marshawn Lynch, I'm tired of shit, America. We getting fired anyway, Ernie. Fuck it.
Shaq last night on the TNT pregame show is words of Marshawn Lynch. I'm tired as blank. We getting fired anyway, Ernie. F it.
I mean, that's one of the all-time great. I don't think he quit on the air, obviously, but that would be one of the all-time great quit moments, like that JetBlue flight attendant years ago put down the escape slide, grabbed the bottles of liquor, and slid down the slide and quit at the airport. Like, that's the way to go out. If Shaq's going to go out, that's the way to go out. But it's cable TV. You can say what you want unless Karen complains, right?
Right, yeah. Carrington?
Yes.
So, two things here to help you guys out today. I know a lot of you are fumbling around thinking, oh, gosh, what do I get my wife or my girlfriend or my significant other for Valentine's Day last-minute gift? I think she's going to give me too much stuff, and I'm not going to get her enough. One, I will say, Prosecco is your best friend, fellas. Bottle of Prosecco. It goes a long way. They'll love it. Get it in the fridge quickly. Get it chilled. And then text us your significant other's name.
Yeah, we'll shout them out.
We'll say it on the air. And you say, hey, babe, go to 96.5 The Fan. It helps us, help you, help us. We'll give your lady a shout out on the air today.
Yeah.
Or whoever your significant other is. It is Valentine's Day, the city of love. The other thing I think we can help with as we roll
and I do have to get the high V after the show because
do.
I got in the car this morning and there was a gift on my seat. So I'm like, man.
Just wait, yours is on the way.
That's right, yeah.
And it might come Tuesday. Literally. So I think as we wrap this week up, which I think is the last week that we can kind of digest what we witnessed last Sunday. I was sitting at the house last night thinking to myself, man, a week ago today, we were at Sazerac.
Yeah, I know.
Sitting there tying it off, getting ready for the weekend that was getting ready to happen. I was like, that happened so fast.
So fast.
And this week has happened faster than I thought it would. And I think there's a way that, like, I've seen this loss affect different generations. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to Nathan about this today because he's in the same age group as Mac.
Yep.
And Nathan with us today, not Mac. So Mac's not here because he's so devastated with the loss.
It's unbelievable.
He cannot get over it.
I know.
He's crushed.
Crushed.
I mean, to the point where crying yourself to sleep, upset.
Yeah, like he
didn't say a word to us after we left the Dome on Sunday. And I feel like maybe I'm wrong here, maybe I'm right. I'm wrong a lot. But I feel like your generation, Bob, which is, 10 years older than I am.
Right.
You're more appreciative of what this team has done the last 8 years because where it came from. And this loss hurt. It stung. But by Tuesday morning, you were like, all right, let's look at the dates. Let's look at let's move forward. We have baseball around the corner. Even if that was kind of like, a little bit of sarcasm, but it's there.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, it sucks. We'll move on. We'll be better. We have Mahomes. We have Andy Reid, and everything will be fine. Then there's my generation, 37.
Mm-hmm.
And I come from a generation of Chiefs fans where, like, when we grew up, when 2002 and 2003 happened, it was like, holy cow, here we go.
Right.
Like, as a kid in the 90s, we had to hear our dads bitch and moan about how we always lose in the playoffs. It's Marty Ball. Like, I wasn't really coherent to all the details. I just knew that they ran the ball a lot, played really good defense, and then they fizzled out in the playoffs every single year.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2002, 2003 happens when you have the offensive line, Priest Holmes, Dick Vermeil, all this stuff, Dante Hall,
great
Trent
offense.
Green,
I mean, yeah.
Everything's awesome.
No defense.
And then I see him lose in the playoffs. And at that point in my life, I'm crushed because I'm like, this is the best football team I've ever seen. I'm playing video games with all these players. I'm playing my first year of fantasy football. I have Trent Green, Priest Holmes, and Tony Gonzalez because I didn't know ESPN was Eastern time at the time. So I get auto draft. I'm like infatuated with this team. I'm in love with this team. And they lose in the no punt game. And I'm like, this is terrible. And it took me a while because I was like, I don't know if they'll ever be that good again. And then they go through that stretch of like all the bad quarterbacks as I go through like my later teens, early 20 years. And then as I get to like my mid-20s, here comes Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
And I'm like, you have to be kidding me. Like, we had Damon Heward, Brody Croyle, Brady
I guess
Quinn.
mid-30s for you would be Patrick Mahomes. So.
Yeah. So then, like, as I get to my, like, early to mid-30s, here comes Patrick Mahomes where I've seen sports more often. I've experienced it more. And then there's the group that's like Nathan and Mac, who are 26, 27.
Who have no recollection of ever being a terrible organization.
Like, they remember 2012 and 2013, but since 2014, which was 11 years ago, they were 16.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you really, I would think,
that's
you
kind
really
of,
start to understand the sports. Am I wrong by this take? And so you guys handle a little bit harder.
Yeah, I think
Nathan
the older
felt bad for us watching the game.
Oh no, don't feel bad for us. We were at the Super Bowl.
He's like,
man.
you guys had that great week. You had to wait for that.
Yeah,
and he's like, I'm still not technically like really over it yet.
Yeah, it was still wonderful. Like I was at the J yesterday. A lot of old guys at the J, right? And it wasn't even yesterday. It was Tuesday. They're like, that sucked. At least we knew it was over early. We could move on with our lives. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of where I was at that point in time. The grieving process started for me kind of at halftime. And then, I was good. And then we landed back in Kansas City on Monday afternoon. I got really pissed. And then I woke up on Tuesday and I was okay. And I moved on because I take my own advice. I've been appreciating everything that we've been watching all along because I know, like, this isn't the norm. This is a very much not normal situation that we've been living through for the last 8 years, in sports in Kansas City. And that's why I've been saying this since really 2014. Enjoy this ride because it eventually will end. Not saying this is over, but a loss derails things and people get freaked out. The older people are like, yeah, man, that's been great. Thank you so much for this ride. It's been so much fun. And then the younger generation, like your generation, is kind of like the players, don't know how to handle this, right? The players didn't know how to handle getting popped in the mouth on Sunday. We know that for a fact. We saw that on the sideline. They're not used to it. And I think the younger generation is just used to going to Super Bowls and World Series and winning these things. Like John Sherman said, sometimes it's okay to be a wild card team, right? We got that last year with the Royals. Sometimes you're going to go to the playoffs and you're not going to win the whole thing. We've been very spoiled here in Kansas City that every time we've been in the postseason, we've either gone to the World Series or the Super Bowl just about every single time, right? Once with the Royals, we haven't, and twice with the Chiefs. So it really has been an unrealistic run, quite frankly, in Kansas City sports. And that's why for years I've been saying, enjoy the moment, enjoy the moment, enjoy the moment. And I know it's hard when you're younger to truly enjoy the moment, but when you're older, like my age and older, everybody's like, man, this has just been a great run. So, well, it's not a big deal. We lost. We've had great entertainment, and we're going to be back next year.
I was not able to enjoy the moment, I wouldn't say, but I think, honestly, Bob, like being around your unrelenting optimism did calm me down on Sunday. I was able to step back and look at the run in its totality. I don't remember Marty Ball, but I do remember growing up having bad years, and when they would peak, when they would go to the playoffs, they weren't going to win the game.
Right.
They lost a no-punt game. They lost that weird game in Indianapolis where they showed up. They didn't even deserve to be there. They got their butts kicked.
Yeah, that was a weird game. Yeah.
Weird game. The Ravens game in Arrowhead Stadium a few years later where the Ravens just beat the absolute tar
when Charlie
out of
Weiss
the
quit at
Chiefs.
halftime and was eating pizza up at the pizzeria in the Northland before the game was over.
Even when Andy came in, he righted the ship. You could tell it was different, but still, when the Chiefs got to the playoffs, they didn't win the big game.
And then they had that game in Indianapolis where they blew a 28-point lead.
First year of Andy Reid.
Yeah, Andy Reid's first year.
I mean, it was bad, man. It was really, really bad.
Those weird years at home against Pittsburgh and Tennessee where just the ball bounced funny ways. The gist that I got as a Chiefs fan growing up was maybe not the total misery you guys had, but it was the ball doesn't bounce our way in the key situations.
Right.
I was used to that sense of heartbreak a little bit. But I think on Sunday I got over it pretty quick. I didn't wake up on Monday upset.
Right.
But it was, I think, just from the sense of that team that I grew up watching was the first team to get the chance to play for a three-peat, and gosh, I wish at least they would have shown up
and you thought you were going to get it done. And look, I still think it's the most devastating loss in franchise history because what was on the line. I mean, there's no question about it. So much was on the line, and the way that it happened, and kind of the way that the whole thing went down. But I was talking to somebody yesterday, and he said, look, when I was growing up, man, he goes, be about 11:30 on a Sunday afternoon, and my dad would look at us, grab my uncle and the two of us, and we'd go to the game at 11:30 and walk right in and pick our seat because there was nobody at the games. Like, people forget before Carl Peterson got here, this franchise was done. This was a dead franchise. I mean, George has told the story of the day of the Game 7 of '85. I think the Chiefs were playing the Broncos or something because there was nobody in the stadium. We sat in a suite. We walked underneath, went and played a baseball game. There were more people at the World Series that night in a stadium that's half the size of a football stadium. So, like, this hasn't always been Mecca here in Kansas City when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's why, for me, for history, is so important to see where you were and where you are. And if you look and you take the totality of everything that we've seen with this organization, these last 8 years have been blissful. And that's why I'm not devastated about the loss because I have all these great memories of everything we've been through. And just talking to some people in the organization yesterday, we're going to get good, great memories going forward with this organization as well, because they ain't done yet, you know?
No, I don't. But I think that's just kind of how it kind of wills out, because I know from the text line and from people I talk to, there's different sorts of handling of the loss.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're at. I think this is the last day that everybody will kind of have this sort of like moment and get over it and move on from it. I'm Adam from the 913. Jerry is my beautiful wife. So shout out to Jerry, Adam's wife, on Valentine's Day. I'm 38. I was good by Tuesday. I'm 43. Lived through decades of mostly bad Mizzou, Royals, and Chiefs play. I value these years of Mahomes ball more than I can express.
Good.
From the 816, it's the greatest 6-year run in history.
Yep.
And then there's negativity.
Of course there is, yeah. It's
They were
Friday,
never-
man. It's Valentine's Day.
They were never as good as their record showed this year. Didn't deserve to be in the Super Bowl, and we won't be next year. Their string of luck was cute, but it's over.
Okay,
Let me ask you this.
Quit being a fan.
Right. Bob, so Dusty, as someone who didn't get to watch those other dynasties, did we talk about the 90s Cowboys and the 90s and
No,
80s
because we didn't
Niners
have this
way?
medium, you know, like, and that's the thing that's so different about what we're living in now. There was no sports talk radio. There was no, blowhards on ESPN.
Did they get on there and say,
Didn't-
these guys are lucky, it's cute?
They
I mean,
didn't
what is
have
this?
that kind of stuff back in the day, right? ESPN showed highlights. It's Sports Center over and over again, game, then Sports Center over. They didn't have the talking heads and everybody screaming. Like, the Chiefs are being more scrutinized than any other dynasty because of where we are in technology and media and society
And
as
at
a
the time,
whole.
baseball was the number one sport.
And
in America.
baseball was the number
And
one
the
sport.
NBA was
man.
still there. I mean, Jordan's still playing.
Everybody was talking about MJ. Everybody was talking
Yeah.
about baseball back
and
in
Dallas's
those days. You
run
know?
was just kind of like the start of the NFL. Like,
Yeah.
that's when it really started.
And
so.
and then you had the 49ers in the 90s, but everybody talked about how good they were. But again, we didn't have the outlets that we have now, where everybody's got an opinion. So you really didn't know what people were
And their
thinking.
makes
you
of a
know?
dynasty, their best player and the best player on the field fumbled the ball to cost them the game. So either way, Mahomes can mess up too. So can Jerry Rice. So can Tom Brady. He lost to Jake Plummer.
Yeah.
From the line, before we go to break, I know we're way late. I'm 29. I took the loss like a champ. Was upset for Super Bowl Sunday. Woke up the next day just realizing how fortunate we are. And Mahomes is only 29.
Yeah.
That's the optimism. And that's
Love it.
the love on the text line. Happy Valentine's Day coming up. On the other side here on Fesco and Dusty, we will dive into, nobody wants this guy, and it's pretty obvious why. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty
What the hell's wrong with your station?
on Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and I know it's tough to talk about when it comes to low T or erectile dysfunction, or even for myself, weight loss. It's tough. I get it. But sometimes you just have to nip it in the bud and take care of it yourself. Or you can have some help. And where you can get that help is with my friends over at Heartland Men's Health. Heartland Men's Health treatments work when the pills or the herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. They have an expert staff, and if you are like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They also have 3 locations to help serve you: Overland Park, Kansas, Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. So if you need some help and you want some guidance, go see my friends at Heartland Men's Health. Call them today, 844-447-6600, or you can visit them at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-359-3434. 800-359-3434. Attention small business owners needing financing. Swish Funding is providing funds for expansion, inventory, increased overhead, even slow cash flow to small businesses all over America with affordable funding as soon as one business day. And we're ready to help with funding from $10,000 to $2 million. If you've been in business for 1 year or more with a monthly income of at least $25,000, you can get the affordable funding you need with no collateral. Go to swishfunding.com today. That's swishfunding.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print it all for my business.
Oh, if you can think it, Staples can print it and will beat any print quote.
Oh, great. I'm thinking new brochures and yard signs.
No problem.
I'm thinking calendars, t-shirts, and pens.
Totally.
I'm thinking Staples is the place for printing.
I thought you might think that.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like saddling up and chasing down.
Look at that sweet moolah!
That big old cash cow.
Look at all that money!
File with TaxSlayer Simply Free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. Simply Free is available to a limited number of taxpayers. See taxslayer.com for eligibility.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Everyone deserves to elevate their beef. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal they'll never forget or impress your friends, neighbors, and coworkers, their Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week, or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is brought to you by CareNow Urgent Care. Find one near you at carenow.com.
CareNow Urgent Care has 15 Kansas City area locations open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, CareNow Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by the National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic at the KC Convention Center March 7th through the 9th on the Missouri East Side. 70 westbound from 470 into downtown, 15 minutes. Pheasants Forever National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic is coming to the Kansas City Convention Center this March 7th through 9. Join us for puppy and dog training seminars, a youth village for kids, and more than 400 unique exhibitors. More information at pheasantfest.org. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Happy Friday, everybody in Kansas City. Happy Valentine's Day. It's our job to help you to also help us. You text your significant other and say, hey, they're about to say something about you on the radio, and it's on 96.5 The Fan with Fesco and Dusty and Nathan. Mac took the day off.
Mac's grieving.
Yeah, he's tough loss for the kid. Tell us your significant other's name. We'll say Happy Valentine's Day, significant other. Everybody wins.
That's right. I tried to get Jerry Anselmo to be my Valentine, and he refused.
Oh.
So now I got to go with Jen.
Somo. I didn't know they called it Somo.
I said Anselmo.
Yeah, so, I mean, let us know. Do you do the Papa Murphy's Heart Pizza?
No.
Do you do the dinner for two at the house, kick the kids out? Or do you just take everybody out to dinner?
I don't know what we're going to do tonight. I haven't decided.
A whole lot of loving.
Yeah, probably. There's no question. What are you doing tonight, Nathan?
We celebrated last night. We did dinner at home.
Oh, nice.
Cooked a nice paella together
Oh,
last
you
night
did?
in the kitchen.
Did you
It
use
was fantastic.
saffron?
We did.
You must be a lawyer to pay for that spice.
I could not believe how expensive that stuff was.
It's ridiculous for a little thing, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go pick some up at the store, honey.
Yeah.
And then I get there and I'm like,
$15 at least. That's what it used to be.
25.
25 now for
That's
saffron.
like bitters for cocktails.
You can get cheap bitters.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, but you can't get cheap saffron. Like there's no knockoff to the saffron, right?
Got to get that heart pizza from Papa Murphy's in.
That would have been cheaper than just the spices.
Yeah,
just the spices, yeah. But then you have to make it yourself, so
Yeah. No, it was a great time.
Good, absolutely wonderful.
Got to snuggle by the fire.
Why didn't you do it tonight?
We won't just have to work later tonight. We
Okay.
won't be together.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Sleep schedule's weird being in here this morning. Last night was the night we had together off to celebrate, and so that was
Do tell.
yeah.
From the 816.
Chicka pow pow.
Could you give my beautiful wife, Shauna, a shout out? Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, Shauna.
There you go. There you go. So happy Valentine's Day to you. Met my wife in summer of 2014. The rest is Kansas City sports history.
Yeah,
Love
what a
you,
great
Jared.
time. Yeah.
Want to get married at the K? Absolutely.
That's
Don't
a cool
mess that
time.
one up, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep that one there. Someone says from the 816, I'd like to wish myself a happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
Valentine's
birthday,
Day to
self.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't believe this, but we're gonna do it anyway. I am a female listener. My boyfriend's name is Richard Long. Please give him a decent shout out. Happy Valentine's Day.
We've received your text for years.
Happy
It's
Valentine's
not-
Day. Yeah, we got a wee wee and a Richard Long all in the same text.
It is not. There's nobody named
Today
Richard Long.
is the day of love. Even if your name is Richard Long.
It's not.
We know
It's
what
not.
Richard is short for, and it's not long. Aaron Rodgers, boy, he might have just shot himself in the foot with his career. Nobody wants him.
Yeah, nobody does. I think
The
Aaron
Jets
Rodgers
even said, thank you for your time.
I mean,
they're being nice.
The Jets send this tweet out yesterday, officially parting ways with Aaron Rodgers, and it says, "For everything you've given us the past 2 years, thank you, 8." What exactly has he given the Jets besides like
freedom today?
Yeah, freedom. Yeah, but like living hell. I mean,
the top comment says he carried the blank out of that flag on opening day 2 years ago.
So much so it blew his Achilles out.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you for everything you've given us the past 2 years. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy did nothing. He will go down, in my opinion, as the worst free agent signing in the history of professional sports. And here's why. People can weigh in on Deshaun Watson and say what you want about Deshaun Watson. But I will say this.
Yes!
Deshaun Watson hasn't cost anybody their jobs. Aaron Rodgers legitimately cost coaches jobs, general managers jobs,
How many, 5
players
people?
jobs. I mean, 5 that we just know of on the surface, right? You know, Hackett and Saleh, and then the interim head coach, and then the GM. I mean, like, Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets had residual effects on everybody else in that organization. Yes, Deshaun Watson is garbage, right?
Yes!
And he's a horrible human being, but the coach is still employed, the GM is still employed. Like, he didn't physically cost people their livelihoods and their careers because of the way that he stormed into New York. I don't think Nate Hackett ever coaches again in the NFL. Like, I think he's been exposed. The emperor with no clothes. And so I do feel bad for all of those folks that got screwed by Aaron Rodgers. Who else in the organization is not going to be back and not going to have a job because of the way that Aaron Rodgers came in and did things? But again, the Jets allowed this thing to happen. But it doesn't change my mind that it was the worst free agent signing in all of sports. I mean, I've never seen anything worse. Demoralize an organization, crush an organization, cost so many people their jobs like this Aaron Rodgers experiment in New York.
Yeah, it's not that there's like billboards being made, like, we don't want him.
Yeah.
I don't know if those were real or not, but it was in Indianapolis. And then there was like the report that the Steelers were like, absolutely no, like, we don't want to bring Aaron Rodgers in.
They had one of their players say they didn't want him.
Keep your ass in the retirement home, I think is what it said.
Yes.
Like, that's not really the sort of credibility you want, especially when you carry that sort of position in this sport. Like, you are supposed to be the leader.
Right.
And again, like, I don't have any sympathy for New York because they knew what they were getting themselves into, and they gave him the holy grail to do whatever he wanted.
Absolutely.
They're like, yeah, you can go on McAfee's show, you can go on, podcasts. You can say whatever you want. You're the guy. We're going to make our franchise around you. We have our defensive-minded head coach. And then, of course, he gets hurt in his first year. Nothing you can really do to that.
Right.
Then he does the silent retreat or the darkness retreat.
Skipping mandatory
doing all
meetings
that
and practices.
Sort of stuff, coming off of an injury where you
Right.
think that you'd want to try to get out there and show everybody that you can still do this, because statistically the last 8 games of his career, of his year, this past year, they weren't terrible.
No, they were not bad.
But the season was so far gone at that point. And then not only that we forget about the year before when he did blow his Achilles out, is that he was like, oh, I'm going to go to this doctor that does, whatever, and I'm going to be back by December.
Right.
And he led the Jets on all year, I'll be back. And then he was out at practice trying to throw it. And it's nah, man, you can't do this. You have to take a year off because of what this injury is. There's no medicine or no, whatever hallucinogen that can make this work the way that you think it'll work. And he ended up missing the entire year. Came back this year, was a little rough to start because of the nagging injury.
Yeah.
And then, boom, Aaron Rodgers had enough in the tank to show you that he can do it. But at that point, it was too far gone.
Yeah.
The team was dismantled from,
they
front
fired
office
their coach before October, didn't they?
Yeah, it was week 5 or something like that. It was early.
Yeah, it was very early.
And then you went and got Devontae Adams and then made the cringy announcement that he's joining the team where he came behind your shoulder. It was oh, look who that is.
Right.
And then the Jets that you created had to revamp their team. And they bring in a new guy in Aaron Glenn, who's a red ass. And he's you will be doing this. You will not be doing that. You will be showing up for this. You will be doing this. And if that's not something that you think you want to do, then maybe we can just divorce and part ways. And that's exactly what they did.
And it's the best thing for the Jets.
And that sort of attitude spread throughout the NFL. Hell, it was one of the biggest segments on McAfee's show every week was Tuesday with Aaron Rodgers.
It was the most important NFL segment of the week in any medium.
And now there are teams that need quarterbacks, and not one of them is, champing at the bit to go
chomping.
Is to go get him. Now, I did see yesterday on Colin Cowherd's show, he thinks the best case for Aaron Rodgers is L.A.
Yeah.
And
which LA team?
The Rams.
The Rams. So they'll trade Stafford then, right?
So then what will happen is...
if you're Sean McVay, I would not do that.
So what his thing is they think that Stafford is going to go to the Giants.
Right.
And they're going to give them the 3rd overall pick, which I think is ludicrous. I don't know if they're going to give up that much draft capital for
But
Matthew
if I'm the
Stafford.
Giants, you need to give up some. You need a quarterback. You cannot have Tommy
And we
Cutlets.
talked about this as we segue into this segment, is that the talk yesterday, at least on Colin Cowherd's show, who does a show in L.A., you could text Maller if we wanted to and see if there's any smoke, and I'm sure there is that there's some talk that the Rams would send Stafford to the Giants, and the Giants would send the 3rd overall pick. And then the Rams would go get Aaron Rodgers as a bridge quarterback because in L.A., McVay's I don't really necessarily need you like Aaron Glenn might need you on the Jets. We've got a team. We know what we want to do. We'll make things work. Here's Puka Nacua. Figure out how to work out with him, and then we'll see what happens with Cooper Kupp. So I will say that if Stafford goes to the Giants and the Giants give their 3rd pick, that means they're telling you that they don't like this quarterback class, and they're willing to kind of punt on that pick, go get Matthew Stafford, because it looks like, at least what we read in the Rams report, that the Rams are tired of Matthew Stafford's wife having public comments about the team and the position of where Stafford is in the ranks of importance. And they're tired of it.
And they are. And I don't blame them. I mean, you're airing the company laundry out in business like
Can't do that.
And I can understand why people would be upset about that. But if I'm the Giants, I immediately trade the 3rd overall pick for Matthew Stafford because, A, you're not going to get a quarterback that's better in the draft. And the best player in the draft is Abdul Carter. He's a defensive lineman. Now, if I'm Tennessee, that's who I'm taking number 1 overall. I'm not messing around.
State.
Oh, my God. I've been watching a lot of
Where's
videos.
the 11 jersey? Yeah, stud.
Yeah, I mean, after watching the Eagles do what they did, Abdul Carter is like a perfect carbon copy of everything that Philadelphia did on Sunday against the Chiefs. He is the best player in this draft. There will be the peer pressure to take Travis Hunter. There will be peer pressure to take Shedeur Sanders. Just because there's peer pressure doesn't mean they're good. And Abdul Carter is going to be a great player in this league. The Giants need a quarterback more than any team needs anything in professional sports at this point in time, right? You've had nothing since Eli Manning. You're trying to figure out ways to save jobs. There's no good quarterback in the draft. I would absolutely give and have no qualms giving up the number 3 overall pick because the guy that you take at number 3 overall, if you're the Giants right now, I don't believe can flip the script right away. And they need a script flipper right away. Matthew Stafford can do that. I would absolutely give up the 3rd pick of the draft for Matthew Stafford if I were the Giants. Yeah.
I think he worked. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, from the Aaron Rodgers angle, the only person that airs more dirty laundry in the league than Matt Stafford's wife is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, right.
Why the heck would you want to bring that guy into your organization, no matter if you're in a position where you need to win with a one-year bridge quarterback, or if you're a franchise that's downtrodden and you only stand to lose jobs like you did in New York.
Mm-hmm.
The team outside of Pittsburgh, it's been brought up a lot as well, as the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Why the heck would somebody like Pete Carroll and Tom Brady look at Aaron Rodgers and think we need that guy here to stabilize our franchise?
Because he won't. He checks every box of a narcissist, and you can't have a narcissist as your quarterback.
The league told Bill Belichick that he was done.
Yeah.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers gets a starting job in the NFL next year.
That's the thing, too, is like, could he be a backup? And I don't know if his ego can handle
him. I can't have him around. If I'm a coach, I look at what this guy has done and the carnage that he leaves and the way that he acts, and he's not a teammate, right? A backup quarterback needs to be a true teammate. Like, you got to be there to support that quarterback. I can't see Aaron Rodgers doing that. He wouldn't support Jordan Love, when he brought him into the fold. And so I don't think Aaron Rodgers' narcissistic personality lends himself to being a backup quarterback or somebody who can be a good teammate.
But that is the conversation yesterday that we saw, is that the Rams are, they're not – there's two stories to it. They don't want the contract to Stafford with his age, and they're tired of the drama. Mm-hmm. So they're like, well, we can shop. Yeah. Plus, we don't know what Cooper Kupp's going to do. I mean, imagine if he falls into New York.
Right.
I'm dialed in New York next year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, your dad will be ready for training camp immediately.
Right.
Like, he'd be like, sign me up. Stafford, Kupp, Malik Neighbors.
I mean, that's it. And let's go, right?
And then Dave can be like, okay.
Okay,
finally.
So if they do get Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and have Malik Neighbors, I know it would be. But let's just, we can have fun. This is the best time of the year for all of this. This is why, like Brian Windhorst yesterday, the NBA guy goes, we cover the off-the-field stuff more than the on-the-court stuff. I'm like, yeah, because it's more interesting. It's people have opinions, and it's compelling of where people are going to end up. But if the Giants do get Stafford and Kupp, for argument's sake, where are they in the NFC East hierarchy? Are they third then, and Dallas is fourth? I mean, that all of a sudden becomes like the AFC West division.
You got to put Philly one without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to put Washington because of proof.
Right.
And then you'd have to probably put New York over Dallas. I don't know. I mean, Dallas roster, it's decent, but it'd be
with a head coach that's never done it.
Yeah, it's in their Hall of Fame wide receivers saying he needed an act of God to make them,
good.
Right.
So I think the Giants would be third in that division, but you'd be a competitive third, and you may have three teams then from the NFC East make it into the playoffs, and that may be a tough division. But the Giants have got to keep up. They've got to keep up with the Eagles and Washington now, and so that trade for Matthew Stafford for me to give you 3 years to maybe find that next quarterback, I think it makes all the sense in the world. And until you have a good quarterback, you can't worry about anything else on your roster. And so that's where I am kind of with anybody that's picking in the top five. Do you have a legit quarterback? If not, don't take a wide receiver number one overall. And that's what I'm saying in Tennessee. Like, Abdul Carter's your guy, man. Don't mess it up by taking Travis Hunter from Colorado because everybody's telling you need to take him. You don't have a quarterback to get him the football right now.
The Giants are basically telling you two things with this conversation. One, what they think of the quarterback draft class, and two, what they think of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Because they could just go get Aaron
Rodgers. Aaron could just move across the street.
They wouldn't have to trade the pick.
No moving expenses,
And they're willing to give up their third overall pick for a guy on another team and contract and drama than to go with a guy named Aaron Rodgers. And then the other quarterback news we saw is that the Pittsburgh Steelers are rumored to be interested in Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I love that rumor, and I love the fact that it was put out there
you're in on Trevor Lawrence now.
To Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think he'd be good with Mike Tomlin there. Look what Mike Tomlin did with the two quarterbacks he had this year, for God's sakes, right? Like, he turned Justin Fields and Russell Wilson around.
Well, for about 5 weeks.
Well, but then he switched them up, and they got into the playoffs. I mean, those two quarterbacks took the Steelers to the playoff. Give Mike Tomlin his flowers, right?
Oh, yeah.
But no, if I'm him, I absolutely make that trade. It was broken by some golf reporter yesterday, and
love that.
I love that, right? I love the fact that a golf reporter broke that news, and then all the insiders got scooped, so they all claimed it was fake news. Everyone, this isn't true. That didn't happen. No way, no how. You got beat on a story, so now you're all trying to say it's fake news. I guarantee you Pittsburgh and Jacksonville talk. It's what teams do in the offseason. Everybody talks.
No doubt about it. Don't forget, it is Valentine's Day. We will give you all the shout-outs we can for your significant other. Would you read breakup messages on the radio?
Yeah, sure.
I think the day is the best day to get let's see if I can say this again. I think the day is the best day to let go of a cheater. Dear Jennifer, enjoy the reservations and your new life. Go blank yourself forever. Michael. rough life.
I hope that's real.
I'm a fan for life, but man, that left a funky taste in my mouth. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you guys. Love you too. Would like to wish my wife, Kelly, a happy Valentine's Day. Good morning, guys. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. Teresa and Shawnee.
Hi, Teresa.
Shout out to my hubby, Derek. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you, Annie. Good morning, fellas. Can you please help me wish my beautiful and amazing wife, Sinquez, a happy Valentine's Day, please? So happy Valentine's Day to, I believe I said that right, Sinquez. So yeah, quarterback talk, carousels, all that sort of stuff. Coming back, the real reason Ned Yost came back. We'll tell you why, because it makes a whole lot of sense here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. And good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with TrueHold. Sell and stay leaseback program. It's a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bag all the equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
This is Larry Ryan at Ryan Lawn and Tree. And right now, before the leaves fill in, is a great time to care for your trees. You can also save 15% on our tree services, but only if you book before March 1st. Save 15% today at ryanlawn.com/tree.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunkt Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like saddling up and chasing down.
Look at that sweet moolah!
That big old cash cow.
Look at all that money!
File with TaxSlayer Simply Free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. Simply Free is available to a limited number of taxpayers. See TaxSlayer.com for eligibility.
March is almost here, and college basketball is reaching its most exciting stretch of the season. Right now, new customers on FanDuel can get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $150 extra bucks to bet on everything from conference clashes to tournament upsets, and even who's cutting down the nets. If you've been waiting to join FanDuel, there's no better time. The app is easy to use, and when you win, you'll get paid instantly. So visit FanDuel.com/Alex and get in on the college hoops action before March takes over. FanDuel is an official sports betting partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by the National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic at the KC Convention Center, March 7th through 9th. On the Kansas side, 35 northbound, trip from Olathe into downtown, about 20 minutes. Pheasants Forever National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic is coming to the Kansas City Convention Center this March 7th through 9. Join us for puppy and dog training seminars, a youth village for kids, and more than 400 unique exhibitors. More information at pheasantfest.org. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Got a pretty good solid over-under for you as baseball season just right around the corner. I mean, March 27th is opening day, and today is obviously February 14th. So
6 weeks basically till opening day, huh?
I think what they say the first preseason game on this radio station is February 21st.
That's a week from today. That's early, man. I mean, my goodness, we start baseball earlier and earlier. I remember back in my day, we start like mid-April is when baseball started. They didn't have as many off days, and you still had your 162, but mid-April it would start. It was over by the middle of October, and now all of a sudden it takes forever to get through a baseball season. But yeah, I mean, October or March, playing in Kansas City and Detroit and Cleveland and places like that. I wonder how many snowouts we're going to see early on in the season.
From the text line, whose wife is 1, awake, and 2, listening to Sports Talk Radio? Shout out to my wife, 15 years. Anyway.
It's almost 7 o'clock in the morning on a work day.
Well, that's why you tell them, hey, babe, get on the,
Get up.
Celia, did I say that right? Celia, I love you. Celia.
Celia, you're breaking my heart.
Valentine's Day shout-outs, our handsome son, Miles. And I would love to wish you happy Valentine's Day, Katie.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, there you go. Then somebody says, Dear Casey Kasem, can you please send a long-distance dedication to the best defensive lineman in the Chiefs this season? Happy Valentine's Day, Turk Wharton.
There you go. Happy Valentine's Day, Turk. Can you do the Casey Kasem voice? And now, because I can't.
No, because it'll just come out like Denny Matthews.
Yeah.
It's the countdown with Casey Kasem.
It is a little Denny-ish, yeah.
So I can't do it. I got a few in the arsenal, but not many. The over-under you brought up, because we read the article yesterday that I think either I sent you or you sent to me, I can't remember, but Ned Yost basically said part of the reason, or the majority of the reason he wants to come back is he's sick of watching it on TV.
Yeah, he's like,
and wants to be a part of it.
Right. His fandom, and I was thinking about this walking in this morning, in fan years, right? Like we have dog years, human years, fan years. Ned Yost is about a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And because he's never been a fan before, because he's been working in baseball his entire life, right? And so you grow up and you're around it and you get used to the wins. It doesn't have an impact on you like it does a fan. Removed from the game, now Ned's puking in the shower after games in the postseason. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, we've all been there, right? We've all vomited after games and been sick to our stomach and had the anxiety during games. And it's like, I just got to get in the shower and kind of calm myself down during these games. So I want to be back in it, right? And I get that. I totally understand that from Ned. He's a competitor. But, like, in fan years, this was like the first time Ned really was a fan. It's like, oh, my God. The ups and downs that fans go through. I'm glad he's experiencing that now, because everybody in sports should kind of experience a game through the lens of a fan so they know what we're all going through and we're all wearing it as much as they are.
Right. By the way, the name was Celia. So shout out to Celia. And then shout out to Brendan, who's his 15th birthday today on Valentine's Day. So a lot of love there. But yeah, I'm like Ned, man. Like, I don't know. I can relate. Like, when you go do something for so long, it's like college. Right? Like, I want to go back, but I want to go back in a different role. Like, I don't want to go back as the student that looked forward to Thursday nights, that went home on Fridays to work a double, to come back Sunday to get back to school, to do it all over again. But I would like to go, during the week and hang out with my advisor and see what a day in the life of being like a professor is, and then see like how the day ends. You go home, or like maybe go on a weekend and go on a Saturday night, because hell, I hardly ever went out on Saturday night, because you went big on Thursday, and if you stayed in town, you went on Friday. If you went home, you worked. And then to kind of see it in that role, like, I miss college, but I don't want to go back and do what I did in college. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. Yeah.
I would like to go back and be like, so now that I'm not a student, like, what do you guys do like over here? Like, what do you guys do now? Or what's different than when I was here? So I get that he misses it from a perspective as like being involved, and only seeing it from afar as like, well, now I'm just like a nobody. I don't have not a nobody, but I'm not part of the team.
Right.
And I want to be part of the team. And so I get that perspective. Plus, like, what, Ned's been in baseball for 50 years?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, I would assume that if this is to give it a Travis Kelce analogy, if Travis Kelce retires and does the podcast thing for a while and does all this, it would not surprise me if somehow he tried to get himself back into football.
On TV,
Whether that's TV,
yeah.
whether that's coordinator.
No.
Andy Reid has said he could see him being a coach. I don't think that the money is there for him.
I was going to say the money for Travis to be a coach, Travis makes that in 2 podcasts now,
Right, yeah. So, I mean, but like that sort of thing is the way, that's why it's so tough for these people to release themselves from the game that they've been around so long because they really don't know anything else.
Yeah.
Like when you're like, if and when Andy Reid ever does retire, like he's not going to have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and drive to One Arrowhead Drive. And he still might do it.
Yeah.
But I could still see Andy Reid being that type, kind of like Ned, who's only done one thing his whole life and loves it and is good at it. And that it's like, yeah, I'm going to, enjoy life for a while. And then you're like, yeah, sure, absolutely. And then all of a sudden it's like 7 months later, and you're like, so what's going on? It's like, I think I want to get back into it. You're like, I thought you were loving it. Because like, perfect example, my best friend's dad retired and he would come over to our house during the day. And what day is it? Thursday? He goes, every day is Friday. And I'm like, oh, you're loving retirement. This is like week 1.
Right.
Week 2, same attitude. Fast forward, third month, still loving it. And then 6 months out of retirement.
Got to do something.
I'm getting tired of this doing bull crap every day. I got to do something. Like, go work at a golf course.
Yeah.
Go.
A lot of the old guys work at golf course.
I was like,
it's funny.
You get free golf.
Yeah.
You get to have fun. You can do your own
Be
hours.
a marshal. Just sit there and tell people to mosey on down the lane.
We need more marshals that are laid back in this world.
Yeah,
all these other ones are too uptight.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so I mean, they miss it. They want to be around it, but they don't necessarily want to do the same thing. So like, what he would do then is he would just go do side jobs because he could do anything, fix anything. It's like Bob the Builder.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, hey, Doug, my bathroom's kind of out of shape. Can you come help me like remodel it? Yeah, I got nothing going on. I'll come over at like 9 o'clock, help you out. Hey, my deck needs work. We're going to redo it, restain, all that. Can you come help? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Not working full time.
Right.
But doing ins and outs. Yeah.
Keeping involved.
So
That's what you have to do.
And then you bring up the over-under of how quickly does Josh Vernier get a phone call that the fan base is mad at Q and they want Ned to get back in the team?
Yeah, I say May 5th. Are you taking before or after May 5th till Vern gets his first call that Ned should be back in the skipper's seat and Q should be fired?
I trust the fan base after what they witnessed last year.
Okay.
To give him enough. But then again, I've made that mistake before.
We're talking text line and callers, right? That's
right.
completely different than the majority of the fan base. These are irrational people usually on the text line. I mean, we used to come in every morning and read the text line from Vern's show the night before, and it's wild. I mean, it is wildly just weird, man. So that's why I think we're going to see this in the first couple of weeks. Like if they get off to like a 2-5 start, 2-6 type of start the first week of the season, I guarantee you somebody will text or call Vern. It may be time to replace Q with Ned. So I'm going to set over/under on May 5th. Do you think it happens before May 5th or after May 5th? Nathan, you've run these post-game shows.
Bob, I think that's a terrible line. I think unless you think the Royals are going to be like
Dog
130 win team. No. The second they lose a second consecutive game, Vern will get multiple texts and calls that say that.
So you think it's happening well before May 5th?
I think in the first week of the season. I'm not kidding.
Again, this is a guy who's run the post-game show, right? He's there. He's in
the
thick of it. You have too.
I did a whole season by myself, basically.
Yeah. So,
I know all about it.
But did you do a winning season?
I did 16. I think they won in 16, didn't they?
I think they're 81 and 81. Like it was a 500 year. But you
I was
you
here
did,
in 15. That was the first year I was hired.
But I'm saying you worked on the show last year with Vern, right?
And in 2023, yeah.
2023, so not 24.
So I've seen the awful and the pretty good.
Okay, so you were 23 and 24.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, he's 27.
Even in the winning, right? Even in the winning, people are still irrational. I think even during the winning, people become more irrational because It's just the nature of the beast, right? So I don't know. I set May 5th. You think it's going to happen before you've been around in the winning and the losing, and so
now that you've said this, they're gonna do it the first loss just to be funny on opening day. He'll get these texts, but
Hey, Vern, I was just wondering, how soon do you think they're going to replace Q with Ned, and I'll listen off the air?
Gosh, they need a red ass in there, and Q's not. Oh, I can already hear the phone call. I can probably name the caller that's going to make it as well, but I'm not. Well, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
You know the trope about like when a team loses on like social media, that picture of the person holding the umbrella over the sports team logo.
Right.
They're looking away. Like, I still love you when we lose.
Right.
That's how this text line is when the Royals lose one baseball game in June.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
like. You're going to lose 60 of these. What's the big deal? The second you lose a second one in a row, they want Bobby Witt traded. They want Q fired. They want Kaufman moved. I mean, they want it's unbelievable.
It is, and that was the joy of coming in the morning and looking at the text line after wins and then after losses. Oh my God, yeah, because you're going to lose 60 games. You're going into the season with 60 losses. Just accept that, right? It's what you do with the other 100 that matter.
Somebody says, take the under. Hubble the text line up after the first loss. LOL. How about that Valentine's Day pink sky out there?
Looks nice today, yeah.
Many nights under pink skies. You taught them to enjoy. Nathan is correct from the 816. Is what they think.
You.
Happy Valentine's Day to my wife, Katie, and daughter, Lily. So, Neil and Lone Jack, one of the smartest guys in the world. Morning, guys. If your wife's not awake yet, just play the podcast back later. Love you, babe. Happy Valentine's Day. Neil from Lone Jack. Have a great day, guys.
Make sure you play that for her.
Yeah, it's always there on the podcast.
Make sure to plug, Neil.
Yeah, thank you, Neil. Appreciate that. So, again, it is Valentine's Day. We're trying to help you guys out. You know, you can get a little brownie points, man. You know what I mean? Hey, they said my name on the air today because my husband took the extra step to go out there and tell them my name and say Happy Valentine's Day on Fesco and Dusty. So, happy Valentine's Day to all of you in Kansas City. Enjoy this beautiful sunrise. And we come back on the other side. We dive more into, well, why it's, I guess, hard to coach Mahomes.
You thought you heard dumb comments yesterday.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
Fesco and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965, Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is a great weekend to fool around and find out and have a lot of fun foaling because it's going to be cold outside this weekend, right? You want to get inside, run off that energy, burn those calories, and have fun while doing it. Foaling is the perfect spot for you. It is bowling with a football. You set up the bowling pins and you throw those footballs at them and knock them down, and the first person to knock all those pins down wins, and you re-rack and you play again. And foaling is literally perfect for everyone. Kids, adults, parties. It doesn't matter what you're going to do. You're going to fool around and find out how fun it really is. And now, foaling is the home of the Jeopardy Bar League. Every Monday night at 7 p.m. It's free to play with weekly prizes for first and second place, plus surprise prizes for daily doubles as well. It's great for teams of up to 6 people. They've got some companies doing happy hours and team building events as well. And you can bring in your own food or just order it there at Foaling and have it delivered from anywhere in Kansas City. Plus, they're having rotating Jeopardy-themed drink specials and features every Monday night as well. So Foaling is bringing more action to their facility. It's located at 435 and State Line. Reserve a lane now at FoalingKC.com. That's FoalingKC.com. And get your foal on.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Planning to propose this Valentine's Day? Shane Company has your back. Our easy process to create your dream engagement ring is rock solid. 1, pick your ring setting. 2, choose your center stone. 3, personalize it. With our wide selection of beautiful settings and hand-picked diamonds and gemstones, all at competitive prices, your ring will be as unique as your love story. We'll hand-set your ring in our jeweler's workshop right here in our store and protect it with our free lifetime warranty. Walk in with a dream, walk out with the ring that will take their breath away. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
A Gain Scent Bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said Maraca, senor, but his nose said, hey, freshest scent ever. Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain Scent Beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness,
Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent maracas smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain scent beads. Try Gain scent beads, way fresher than detergent alone.
Advent Health welcomes the KC Golf Show February 21st through 23rd at the Overland Park Convention Center. Test and buy big brands and enjoy new women's and kids programs Saturday at the show. Front door bonuses and tickets at kansascitygolfshow.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
At the UPS store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS store. Be unstoppable.
This report is brought to you by Care Now Urgent Care. Find one near you at carenow.com.
Care Now Urgent Care has 15 Kansas City area locations open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, inbound I-29 from 435 into downtown, about 15 minutes. Checking 435, you're moving at posted speeds or better all around the metro. Kansas side, 35 northbound, trip from Olathe into downtown is 20 minutes. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Wake up with Fesco and Dusty. Weekdays starting at 6 on 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Rolling along on this purplish, pinkish Valentine's Day morning. 7 o'clock. 96.5 The Fan. Fesco, Nathan, Dusty with you today.
It's weird out there today, right?
Awesome.
Like, go look at the sky if you get a chance real fast. It's like this bright pink.
It's great. Really fitting the theme. From the 913, happy Valentine's Day to you, boys. You showed me how to love sports talk radio. Appreciate you, Bob and Dusty, Alex and OZ.
There you go, Alex. Love you, man.
Can I get a happy Valentine's Day to my beautiful wife, Riley, and my two boys, Kai and Crew?
You got it. There it is.
There you go. From the 417, happy first ever Valentine's Day to my new granddaughter, Andy. What an amazing blessing she is. And go Chiefs. I'm over it. Let's go Royals. It's going to be a great year, and we will watch the great comeback next year when we win the Super Bowl. There's some love. From the 702 at 703, good morning. The last time I texted in to wish my wife happy birthday, Ron Hughley sang her happy birthday. I probably was here when he did that. So happy Valentine's Day, Britt. Thanks for 10 awesome years together. A decade,
you go, Britt.
That's right. A decade together. So go make it 40
It's a long
more.
time, man.
How long have you been married?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
08, we got married, and so now you're asking me to do them at 15, 17 years now?
Carry the two.
Yeah. 17 years. This will be 17. Yeah, right? I think. Yeah, something. Yeah, 17. Yeah, 5. Yeah, it'd be 17. Yeah.
This is from my wonderful stepmother, Mary. She says, I want to tell your dad happy Valentine's Day and that she loves him.
Is
So
she
happy
quite contrary?
How
does her garden grow?
I don't know, but his name is Kurt. So happy Valentine's Day, Kurt, from Mary. Get your ass out of bed and listen to the radio, Dad.
Yeah, come on, Kurt. Jeez, I thought we bonded over Jimmy Buffett. You're still sleeping?
Oh, you guys have bonded over way more. I guarantee you that. He's like the older brother you never had. He'd just go back and forth with baseball. He'd be like, you remember the 79?
I don't know.
You're a real buzzkill. Speaking of buzzkills, the article you sent me yesterday, crazy comments from a Chiefs quarterback coach who says it's hard to coach Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, this is as stunning an article as you will ever see, and I don't know that Joe Blameyer is going to be having a happy Thanksgiving this year, but he's the quarterback coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I guess during Super Bowl week, he was opining to ESPN about how difficult it is, quite frankly, to coach Patrick Mahomes. And we'll read these comments. And I read these yesterday. My initial reaction was, why don't you go coach Daniel Jones and see how difficult coaching truly is? You've got Patrick Mahomes here. Mm-hmm. And for anybody to have any sort of what appears to be a complaint about the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs that works for this organization, there's a lot of other you can go coach Kyler Murray at some point. So here's this quote. It makes it so much more stressful. You feel the burden as a coach and as you're putting a game plan together to not waste his abilities, to not go through a season where you don't give him the opportunity, to not screw it up as the coaching staff. So rather than feeling like this is just unbridled excitement that we could do anything, it's actually more like a terror, like we cannot be the reason that we screwed this guy up or this team up. Blameyer went on to say, are we utilizing him the best? Are we giving him the stuff that he needs? It's just constantly second-guessing ourselves just so that he has everything he needs to go be himself. And I read those comments, and I'm thinking, you're second-guessing what you're doing with Patrick Mahomes? You are wondering if you're giving him what's necessary to win, and coaching him is actually more like a terror, in his words, than the fun that it should be in coaching Patrick Mahomes. I don't think anybody would ever say coaching Patrick Mahomes is actually more like a terror than anything else. And I think those comments by Joe Blameyer are kind of like, I'm taken aback by that and wondering, could he continue being the quarterback coach in this organization if he has comments like that? And if you are coaching scared, then that is a big problem, and we probably need to bring somebody else in who isn't going to coach scared. You can't coach scared, because if you coach scared, we see what happens like on Sunday. You get run out of the building.
Yeah, I do kind of see that narrative of kind of like coaching on eggshells, I guess, where I don't understand how it would be like tough, but I understand like maybe if you would have like worded it differently, like there's a lot of pressure that comes with coaching Patrick Mahomes, because you do have a great athlete, but also like, what's the matter, man? Your balls fall off. Like, it's okay to talk to your teammate. Like, as long as you're a professional,
yeah.
Like, hey, get your head out of your ass. Like, that's one of those things where it's like, I mean, Mahomes does it.
Yeah.
Mahomes pulled Rashee Rice over in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. It was like, hey, enough. Okay, just be ready when I'm ready, and everything will be fine. But every time you hear Patrick Mahomes talk in the public, it's like, yeah, I love this team. We're great guys, but like, you can't be afraid. But you can understand the pressure that comes with it. Like if you drive a Ferrari, you're driving that a little more cautious than you're driving your Bronco.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah,
and you drive your Bronco pretty cautious.
I do, yeah.
But it ain't a sports car that can go 0 to 100 in, 80 seconds, however long. I don't know cars. But like you're a little more cautious. There's a little more pressure driving that thing a little bit more coherent and being able to watch. Whereas like if you're in your everyday vehicle, if you're in your Daniel Jones, you're like, yeah, hang a right. All right, take a left. All right, whatever. But with Mahomes and a three-peat and the history that is all within this franchise and the way that this team has moved, like, yeah, there's pressure. But, like, if you're not about it, get out of here. Like, there's certain people that are about it and love it and live for it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like this guy is.
It doesn't sound like it. Here's how he started this comment, right? It makes it so much more stressful, Chiefs passing game coordinator Joe Blameyer told ESPN Wednesday of the Super Bowl week about coaching Patrick Mahomes. You feel the burden as a coach and as you're putting a game plan together to not waste his abilities.
Yeah, that's pressure.
Yeah, that's the NFL, though. I mean, you should feel that pressure whether you're coaching Patrick Mahomes or you're coaching Daniel Jones. And you want to talk about stressful. Like Patrick Mahomes, I guarantee you Patrick Mahomes has covered up a lot of mistakes that have been made on that field by players, coaches, and everybody involved, just like they've covered up mistakes that Patrick Mahomes has made, right? Everybody covers for everybody. It should not be more stressful coaching Patrick Mahomes than it is coaching anybody else. What should be stressful is like Brian Daboll having to deal with Tommy Cutlets, or whoever coaches the Jets having to deal with Aaron Rodgers, or whoever coaches, Arizona and Kyler Murray, or the Cowboys, or whatever team out there that doesn't have Patrick Mahomes. That's the stressful part about it, because you're sitting there thinking to yourself, oh my God, I'm coaching for my job. I don't have the proper quarterback. I am stressed out about this. You have Patrick Mahomes. The only stress you should have is wondering how many Super Bowls you're going to win with this guy and putting him in that position to be successful. There shouldn't be any stress, if you would, on this coaching staff, or more stressful than anything else, because you got a guy that covers up so many mistakes out there that if you do make a mistake as the coaching staff, Pat's going to cover it up and it's going to look great, and we're going to move on and we're going to continue to matriculate the ball down the field. I mean, to sit there and say we're trying not to screw it up as the coaching staff, I'm not buying that at all. Andy Reid is not that type of coach who sits around trying not to screw things up. Andy Reid is a win-at-all-costs guy and doing whatever it takes to win. And these comments, man, like they're concerning to me. I don't like those comments by Joe Blameyer, the passing game coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. Sit there and saying it's stressful to coach Patrick Mahomes. I'll show you Patrick Mahomes and raise you 2 Daniel Joneses, bro.
1 to 100 miles per hour in 80 seconds. LOL. I knew I botched it.
Did you say 80 seconds?
I don't know.
I totally missed that.
LOL. 80 seconds and 85 Corolla gets to 100 faster than that.
Is that my mother texting it? Because that was her car for all those years.
That's awesome.
Nathan, you look like you got something on your mind over there.
I was just going to say, I think one of us could get to 100 faster than
That's
80
probably
seconds.
Yeah, running.
It's a day of love, guys. Day of love.
I'm glad you guys picked it up because I totally missed it, thinking about how much stress Joe Blameyer's under trying to coach
Can
Patrick
you tell me
Mahomes.
what Joe Blameyer does for the Chiefs?
Passing game
that's
coordinator.
But I mean, you have Reed, you have Nagy, there's a quarterback coach, there's a passing game coordinator.
There's a lot of people. Yeah.
What exactly are we talking?
He coordinates the passing game. It's right there in the title, right?
Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks, coach. Yeah,
You got it. Yeah. Passing game coordinator. I don't know. Like that's a nice term for an assistant. Maybe you get bumped up, you get a better title or something of that nature.
I do get what he's saying in the sense of you have this Ferrari, as you said, Dusty, and you don't want to mismanage it.
Right.
I do get that at its core, but I don't
There's
understand.
a way to go about it. Like, hey, man, we're trying to maximize Patrick Mahomes for winning as many Super Bowls as we possibly can, and we are stressed as the coaching staff to make sure we put together the best game plan for him to go execute.
Yeah. Didn't need to be said in the way that it was.
No, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I can tell you there are people in the organization who aren't real happy about this article right now, nor should they be, right?
Mm-hmm. No doubt. Coming up on the other side, we wrap up our season with Mitch Holthus, the voice of the Chiefs, one last time on a Friday. We no longer have to stay focused, or maybe we do. We'll find out from the man himself, Mitch Holthus, plus what Charles Omenihu had to say about Travis Kelce and what we think they need to do with Charles Omenihu here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty.
I just want to say how awesome it is to have Bob Fesco and Legend Likens on every morning to start my day. I freaking love you guys.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, if you're headed out of town, then you need to be parking at Park and Go because they have the best facility at KCI. Every spot is covered at Park and Go, so when you're gone in the wintertime, you don't come back to snow on top of your car or ice because it's covered parking. Your car's been protected. And if you're traveling in the summer, you don't have to worry about the interior of your car fading under that summer heat because it's protected at Park and Go. Like I said, every spot is covered parking. So when you make that flight reservation, immediately go to bookparkandgo.com and make your parking reservation. Then prepay, because when you prepay, you save money and you get their best rate. Then you're ready to go. Show up on the day of your flight, give them the reservation number. They'll direct you to the spot they reserved for you. Before you get out of the car, the van's there to take you right to the airport terminal. And when you get back, this is where I love Park and Go the most. They're there waiting for you. Grab your bags, walk off the plane, jump on the bus, and it's right back to the trunk of your car. Do what we did and join their frequent parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com or in their easy-to-use app. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
We're back in the Miller's front yard who recently switched to True Green.
Their lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers started showing up.
Like this pro, lining up his next shot from this pristine grass.
Has to clear the trampoline and a kiddie pool.
And lands in the middle of this beautiful True Green lawn.
Even the Labradoodle next door wishes this yard were his.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey.
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Okay, so that's with bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato, grilled onions, ketchup, and hold the pickles.
You know what you like. You wouldn't order your burger just any way. Why should your sports talk be any different? With Chapters on the free Odyssey app, you can choose the topics that matter to you most. Whether it's reactions, matchup previews, injury updates, or team news, quickly find what you really care about. Your football talk, your way. Download the free Odyssey app and start listening today.
Men, this is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. The one you love is the light of your life. And if you're like most of us, you want to do whatever you can to nurture your relationship. But if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction, you know the impacts the condition is likely having on you and your partner. ED is a relationship destroyer. It can contribute to depression, distancing, conflicts, and even breakups and divorce. And what's so disturbing about this is that most men who suffer with ED can be successfully treated, but a lot of guys don't seek treatment when they should. At Heartland Men's Health, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases. In fact, if you're like most guys, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and maybe find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. So call Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Kansas side, 35 northbound past Santa Fe with an accident in the right lane and right shoulder. A lot to look at, and it is pretty heavy approaching. Slow down stretch back from around Old 56 Highway. It's about a mile slow down approaching. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Continuing to power through on a Friday. Good morning, guys. Watching you on the big screen from home today. Just seeing Dusty on the screen, but that's okay. Well, it's not okay because that's the lesser of the two.
We got a thing going on with the computers or something, right?
Always. Cody's somewhere diabolically scheming these cameras.
Oh, yeah.
They'll work fine for Gold and Binkley.
No, it's just Binkley later today. Gold is off. Cody's off. Binkley rolling solo at 10 o'clock,
What are those
right?
guys taking off for? They still mad about the loss?
Very, very mad about the Super Bowl and whatnot, I guess. So
Cody or Drew walks in this building, the cameras work.
It's weird. I've been telling Dusty that for a year now. Cody is a saboteur with the cameras, right? There's a certain switch that only Cody knows about because immediately they start working. I don't know.
It's
I'm just saying.
It's weird. We are giving out Valentine's Day shout-outs to your significant other from the 785. I'd like to wish my amazing girlfriend, Jessica, a happy Valentine's Day from Shannon.
There you go. Happy birthday or happy Valentine's Day. Either way.
Happy Valentine's Day for my wife. Happy Valentine's Day to my wife, Ashley, married 25 and dated for 5. This is our 30th Valentine's Day. Coach Cates.
Way to go, Coach Cates. Love you, Jake.
There you go.
Hey, how's UMKC doing this year, Jake?
How you doing, Jake? So Charles Minihue, he was on that show with that one guy that thought the Chiefs were not going to beat the Tissons.
Right.
And this is what he said about Travis Kelce, because he says you can't really go out like that.
This would be like my message to Trav. Big dog, like, we whole organization, we can't go out like that, you know? Like, he's a Hall of Famer from the moment he says I'm done, right? So, but I think Trav has a lot left. I think Trav is an extreme competitor. I think he's somebody that loves the game. And I think in the storied career that he's had, going out like that, in my opinion, wouldn't be something that he would do. So I believe that he'll be back. I believe that he'll give it one more go. We have guys coming back on that team, you know, that Rashid's going to be back. So that's going to help out the offense. And I think it's the whatever holes that the team has, Coach Reed and Brent do a great job of, like, you know, getting on top of it real quick. They're not going to overlook anything that may have been the reason why we didn't come out on top. So it's going to be a retool, refuel, and get back to it. And we have Pat. So you know for a fact that you're going to be in the dance. You know for a fact that you're going to be in the dance.
That's facts.
So, like, it's like, all right, like, he's not coming back to, maybe we might get to, like, you know for a fact, like, they're going to be in there. And probably for a fact that you're going to be in that championship game.
So, again, this is Charles Minihue, who was on FS1 yesterday, and he was talking about how you can't go out like that. And again, I think that's a lot of people's mindset with Travis Kelce. And I think the other thing that you have to be wary of is that it's Travis Kelce's career. You have to let him do what he wants to do and have his fun. And again, I think he's, like a lot of these players, I think they're still shell-shocked the way that game went.
Yeah.
And his comments on New Heights that we played yesterday of, like, you know, I'm going to kick the can, you know, as far as I can down the road to see where I get at, what I want to feel like. And there's two different sides of this story. There's the one that is, you know, kind of like where I'm at, where it's like, it's been a good career, do what you want to do, take the time you need. And if it's a day, it's a day. If it's more to come, then saddle up and let's do it. The other side is, man, you just can't go out like that with his career.
That's where I am.
And I get that. Like, I mean, it was a bad loss. And, you know, you saw the video of Mahomes and Kelce, like, hugging on the sideline, like, you know, love you, brother. Love you, too. Thanks for everything you've done. There was no comment of, we'll do it. We'll be back next year. There's no comment of, hey, you know, we'll be in St. Joe soon. We'll revamp it. We'll get it back. It was just more so like just complete depleted feeling of, I mean, we got our ass kicked.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
I mean, you were in that locker room. You saw what it was like in there. It was the worst locker room. I mean, that was worse than 2014 after we lost Game 7 to the Giants, and then being in that locker room. There was there was down feeling in that locker room, but nothing like we saw in that Super Bowl. Right?
I was in the Royals locker room when they lost to the Yankees, and Bobby's in tears and just completely disheveled and everything. But half of the guys, Q included, were more so like, hey, don't hang your head. This is a great season. Just feel great. I know the loss sucks. Whereas that locker room the Chiefs were in, it was like the world was over.
And it should have been. I mean, that was,
it was, you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah, it was quiet, man. And Charles Minihue, by the way, if he's telling me to do something, I'm listening. I mean, that guy is a beast. But I feel that way. Like, put yourself in those shoes. Would that be the way you want to go out? Like, if you were Travis Kelce, you've had this storied career, and then in that Super Bowl, you were a non-factor. In fact, did not play well at all. People got the Zapruder film out on Travis Kelce and whatnot, looking at, you know, what he did right and what he did wrong in that game. If I'm Travis Kelce from a competitor standpoint, I'm thinking to myself, that's not the way I want to go out. And that's why you don't make that rash decision this week or next week. You do take that time. You got about a month until the league year starts on, you know, March 14th, when you kind of have to have a decision so the team can decide what they're going to do. But I don't think it needs to be a rash decision. I think Travis Kelce will sit back, take a couple of weeks off, and realize I don't want that to be the last memory that I have of playing football, and I sure as hell don't want that to be the last memory the Chiefs fans have of me playing football. So let me come back for one more year. That's how I would do it, because had they won the Super Bowl and he had a good game, I would say, see you later, man. Ride that thing off into the sunset. But after having that individual performance that he had, I'd want to come back and redo this thing all over again.
I would also say my resume speaks for itself, and one game, unfortunately, being the Super Bowl and a blowout, shouldn't speak for what
You're
my
right,
career
but
was.
so many people are talking about that now.
It's still fresh, though.
Yeah.
It's new. So, I mean, everybody is focused on that game and focused on what Travis Kelce is going to do. And for the last time of this football season,
Stay focused, Dusty.
it's time for Mitch.
He's been the voice of Chiefs Kingdom since 1994.
Damian Williams, 20, stays in bounds, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Kansas City, Damian Williams runs to immortality.
Here's Mitch Holtis on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
It is that time for the final time of this football season. I can't say the year because they'll play football this year.
Yeah.
And I don't want Fesco to
Now, it won't be me. It'll be the text line.
That's right. But it is Mitch Holtis, brought to you by Silverside Eye Centers and GEHA. Mitch, how you doing, my man? Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, same to you. Well, I'm hanging in there.
Okay.
The cliche phrase, but that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you over it? Are you over it yet?
No.
Okay.
No, but I'm not going to wallow in it. And that's why this Chiefs team has been able to win for 12 years and win at the highest level of any team in this league for a span of 7 years, is that you handle flashpoints, but you move on. And just like if we would have had a parade probably yesterday because of the snow on Wednesday, we would have moved on. I'm going to give you an example because I'm going to tell you who the tip of the spear is on this is Brett Veach and his staff, because they are forced, the coaches can kind of stand down and goes into a little bit of they've been grinding away, but Veach's crew can't stop. So I get the same video from Brett the day after the parade a year ago that I got yesterday, and that is they're in there grinding. So it stings, it hurts, you wear it. You don't run from it. I mean, Lord knows I'm getting hammered on social by Eagles fans.
They suck.
And Bengals fans and Bills fans. And that's fine. And people even in this city who don't particularly like the Chiefs, that's okay. I mean, it comes with it. But you don't sit there and wallow in it, because that becomes a more devastating issue if you sit there and, wallow in the manure. So you got to push on and press on. And that's where Brett Veach's guys are at, and gals, as they're right there and moving on. They can't stop, whether it's good or bad. And that's why this team has been able to win consistently.
Well, I mean, Brett has done an unbelievable job at building this team. And after the game was over and he started to kind of, for my fault, I guess, consume the national nitwits and what they had to say, you would have thought that the Chiefs had never been here before, had never done this. They were a flash in the pan. This thing's over. They're never going to be able to rebound. And I'm thinking they're going, yeah, Brett Veach is in charge here. Like, this guy knows how to draft. This guy knows how to sign players. This guy knows how to build a team. And Andy Reid pretty much knows how to coach them and, gets the best out of everybody. Like, I think you all are writing this team off way too soon. I mean, but this is where Brett Veach really shines now.
And infrastructure. Let's don't leave the Hunts out of this, and Clark Hunt, because what's overlooked here is the investment that the team continues to make to work the salary cap. There's something called cash over cap, and even if you kick the can, so to speak, down the road or amateurize contracts in the camp, many times that takes cash up front. And Clark Hunt and the Hunt family continues to stay invested in doing what Brett and Coach need to have. So if you have the infrastructure the Chiefs have, and you have a Hall of Fame head coach, and you have a Hall of Fame quarterback, and probably what ought to be a Hall of Fame executive, but he doesn't get enough credit, and then guys like Chris Shea. Chris Shea is as brilliant as a guy there is in this league at working the cap and understanding it and making everything work. Now, there's going to be real challenges coming up here in the next – but when you have infrastructure, It's just like when you face a family crisis. If your family is strong and your faith is strong, you can handle it. But you also move on. You move on from celebration. Some people get stuck. Human nature wants to stay there. Can't. You press on. And the same thing with getting your face beat in like we did. I mean, we got beaten up. Let's just face it. But then you move on. You don't sit there and wallow in it, or you're going to lose again. It's the guy that makes the error in baseball that is so freaked out he's going to make 2 more.
Right.
So so that's where I'm at this morning. Is my gut still hurts, but I trust in the infrastructure and the people that are running this team.
But you mentioned cap versus cash, and I think that's an important thing to touch on, especially with the new stadium conversation taking place. And for me, the cash is you got to have the cash on hand to give these signing bonuses out. Like if you sign somebody to a deal, the salary cap is mythical, but that $35 million, that shows up in somebody's bank account direct deposit that day. You've got to have that cash on hand. And that's why, for me, the new stadium with the stuff around the stadium and being able to generate money 365 days of the year is what this team needs in order to compete from a cash standpoint, because somebody else could come in and offer more cash than the Hunts may have on hand.
Well, I know we're going to talk about this in the days ahead, and I know it's a touchy subject, but you're dead on. There's a way. Think about how the Chiefs and GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium are off-season revenue generators, whether that's, Kenny Chesney or Post Malone or other concerts you have. But you have just struck the nerve that has to happen, because all of us, you, me, Dusty, everybody listening, have got to set up something that people are going to be able to succeed in long after we're gone. This is a 50 to 75-year decision. And what has to happen is, you're right, a 363-day revenue stream that helps this team and doesn't. And that's where the Hunts are. That's where Clark is. And the fact that he's willing to work and make those investments now. The other cash over cap thing is when guys restructure, let's say Joe Tooney restructures. Well, to do that, you amortize his salary, but then you also have upfront cash you have to give these guys so that they can make it palatable for them. That's not the right word, that to make it beneficial for them and still stretch out their salary or a signing bonus. But that means they get the cash up front. That means you have to have an owner who has the cash, willing to give the cash to do those necessary moves, in addition to the cash that you give out for free agents. So that's my point. This is where the Chiefs are. It's where they've been. It's where they will be. And the fact that this doesn't change anything. You took a torpedo. It's the Pacific Theater where the Yorktown and Enterprise take damages from the enemy, but you repair them and get back to sea, and you win the Battle of Midway. I mean, you stay in the water, and that's where the Chiefs are because of their infrastructure.
Mitch, you've been around this team. We're talking to Mitch Holtis, the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. You've been around this team enough, and I know that, maybe you're not expecting this question, but I think you'll respect the question. There's not a person on this planet that plays in the NFL that I love to see when the entire country seems to go against them, and that is Patrick Mahomes. My friend, as of right now, probably by the end of next week, will place a futures bet that he wins the MVP because of everything that's being said, everything that was being seen, and everything that's being mentioned about Patrick Mahomes. I just feel, and maybe I'm a homer and I've got Chiefs rose-colored glasses on, I just think he's going to come back next year and scorch the damn earth.
Let's just talk about him. I'm going to throw Coach Reed in here too, because hear me out on this, boys. Patrick Mahomes has had to grind for everything he's got. Even though his dad played MLB and he was in, he's in clubhouses and all that. He goes to White House High School. He's really under-recruited. Nobody really recruited him. Tech found him because they were recruiting a wide receiver at his school, and they all think he's going to play baseball, so people back off on him. He's been underappreciated, and even at Tech. Like, he's the crazy guy that throws for 700 yards, but he's got so many flaws that he's not taken one in the draft. Well, he's become the best quarterback in the league. He is driven by what you just said. The fact that he's also got, this inner strength, this infrastructure that can be in every one of us. He's got it. I mean, he's with his 7th grade girlfriend, right? He's got 3 children. He's got the dude's a grinder and a fighter, and just the fact that someone would doubt him or take these shots at him is stupid. If you're a competitor of his, I'd send him flowers and candy and go, gosh, hey, I think you're okay.
Yeah.
Because he's going to use it against you. But Andy's the same way. He just won't, he's not as vociferous about it, but Andy will come at you. And Andy sees all this stuff. He knows all of it, and it fuels him because he goes to JUCO. He's going to go to maybe USC. He's a top player in high school in LA, but he tears up his knee. He's got to go to Glendale JUCO. Then he goes to BYU, but then he coaches at San Francisco State, Northern Arizona, UTEP. He goes to places where you have to grind. You don't have budget. These guys are grinders. They're not front runners. And when I saw some of the criticism on social about being front runners, that's the kind of stuff that makes me mad, is that they disrespect these guys for what they really are. So, yeah, you're on it, because this will just make Patrick fire up more. He'll just try to figure it out all the more. So will Coach.
What do you think Travis is going to do?
If you guys can play the 20 minutes, I told this to CDOT the other day. See if Speck can find this. It's the interview I had with him on Chiefs Kingdom show. It's in November. He's a special guest. Hy-Vee has a special night at the Hall of Honor, and it was awesome. And we just had 20 minutes, and we got 12 years together, and all that kind of came oozing out. Let me just give you both sides of this, because I don't know. That's the answer. If he goes, I say go in peace. I just figured out he's played 11,000 snaps, 11,000. And he's the number 1 pass catcher in Super Bowl history. He has led us to 3 Super Bowl championships. We all know what he's done. So it's his body to me. I heard you saying before I came on the air, and I would agree with you. He doesn't want to close out with a 40-22 loss and people taking shots at him like he didn't play well. But it's going to be about his body, you guys. He gets away, but all these guys know their bodies. And he will, because he does not slack off. He'll be working 9-on-7 inside run drill at camp or long drive drill at mandatory mini camp or OTAs, and he's doing it just like he's Peyton Hendershot. So he's thinking, can my body do this? That's the biggest, I think that's going to be his decision box. Now, we've also had some melancholy moments. There have been a lot of hugs with him over the past 60 days. And I don't know what that means. What it means is that I respect the dude more than ever. And if he goes into the sunset, I'm going to think, man, I had 12 of the best years of my life with that cat. But if he comes back, he will grind as hard as Coach and Pat and everybody else. He's got his body. His body will make this decision.
Mitch, we'll wrap up our yearly football conversations with what you think this team accomplished this year for your 2024-2025 Chiefs.
Still be a historic team. And I wore my AFC championship ring to the Chiefs Kingdom show the other night, Dusty. It's the only time I've ever worn it. Now, I had someone I respect in our organization that when we got it in 2020, he said, that's a loser's ring. You don't wear that. That's miscongeniality. And I said, no, not this one, because it's COVID year. 2020, COVID. Swabs up your nose at 5:30 in the morning. You're taking your temperature every 10 minutes. You don't want to get Mahomes or Kelsey sick, or you become a news story. You got people breathing down your neck. Stay healthy, stay healthy. All right, that's what that ring was, even though we lost in the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 55. This year, similar kind of feeling. There were a bunch of guys and gals in that organization that were determined to do something that's never been done, and they did. No other team has won the back-to-back Super Bowls and even made it back to a third. They did. And the fact that we got nailed in the Super Bowl doesn't deter from the fact that this was a remarkable group of humans who basically leaned on each other in all 3 phases: work ethic, injuries, kept battling, all the attributes I've given you the last 20 minutes. They carried on and almost got it done. Got to the game. Nobody's ever done it. Not the Niners, not the Cowboys, not the Patriots. None of them. None of them. Steelers, none of them. the Chiefs did. And we'll keep fighting back. We'll swing away. But this 2024 team did a whole lot more than lose a Super Bowl. And that's where I'm going to remember these gals and guys, because this was an incredible run, and an incredible run that was based on resolve. A unique resolve that you rarely see in sports or life, and you really rarely see it in professional sports, because it took unselfishness. And that's what these guys had.
Well, Mitch, I know the season doesn't ever end for you, but if you do get time to relax and stay focused on the off season, I hope you enjoy that. And we thank you for everything that you gave us this year. We can't wait to do it again next year and go on a scorched earth mentality.
No, you guys are great. I love 96.5 The Fan, Spec, everybody. Roxanne's incredible. But we press on. Guys, we're in the fact that we have all these haters is fine. The fact that we still have the greatest quarterback to ever play based on his first 7 years as a starter, and we have a Mount Rushmore head coach. We'll take that into the next year and attack it.
We'll be just fine, Mitch. Thank you very much. We'll talk soon.
See you, boys. Thank you.
Go draft.
There you go. Mitch Holt is brought to you by Silverstone Eye Centers and GEHA. Coming up on the other side, there was an article from Vanity that gave the best acting roles or performances according to the article in Vanity of the 21st Century. We'll do that, plus our top 5 Chiefs of this year's run. Bob Fesco, Nathan Dusty Likens with you on 96.5 Fan, your home, Kansas City Sports.
Fesco and Dusty.
913-586-7965. Call in right now and tell me how much I suck.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens of 96.5 The Fan. Let me tell you about my friends over at GiveMeTheVin.com. They want to buy your car, whether it's your daily driver, pickup truck, SUV, minivan, supercar, or an exotic. GiveMeTheVin.com wants you to say goodbye to dealing with the dealerships and private sale tire kickers and get a true buy offer for your car. GiveMeTheVin.com puts your car right on the money, providing you with a hassle-free online option to sell your car for more. It's as simple as going to GiveMeTheVin.com and entering your car's VIN number or license plate number. You'll get an offer on your car in minutes that is always well above any dealer quote and is guaranteed to beat your written CarMax offer, or they'll send you a check for $100. You can go to one of our offices locations, or they'll come to you. It's easy and it's fast. In fact, it's so easy, you can do it in your underwear. Literally. GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Attention lovebirds. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Diamonds Direct has the gifts to wow your special someone. From dazzling diamonds and trending gold to vibrant gemstones, pearls, even timepieces. With hundreds of stunning styles under $1,000 and an exquisite collection of one-of-a-kind luxury pieces. Make your moment unforgettable. The best selection, value, and service are waiting for you. Make this Valentine's unforgettable with fine jewelry for every budget. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Hi, it's me, your USPS Ground Advantage shipment. Just left the warehouse and hitting the road.
I know. Just got the notification.
Great. Smooth sailing so far. I'm almost there.
Yes, I know. I get all the updates.
Made it. Safe and sound.
I know.
Well, did you know I was with USPS the whole time?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Keep your business in the know with the USPS Ground Advantage service. Visit USPS.com/in-the-know.
Old Spice Swagger Body Wash will make you the MVP of freshness and confidence. With its irresistible scent, it will transform your shower experience, leaving you feeling fresh on and off the field. Pair it with Old Spice Swagger Deodorant, the #1 aluminum-free brand that keeps you feeling like a Super Bowl champion 24/7 when used daily. But don't wait. This dynamic duo is available at Costco for a limited time only. Old Spice, official deodorant partner of the NFL and Super Bowl 59, where freshness meets football greatness.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey.
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Pheasants Forever's National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic is coming to the Kansas City Convention Center this March 7th through the 9th. Join us for puppy and dog training seminars, a youth village for kids, pollinator and wildlife habitat hunting gear in the 20th anniversary of Quail Forever. It's National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic the weekend of March 7th. Presented by Pheasants Forever, Quail Forever, and Federal Ammunition. For more information, log on to pheasantfest.org.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, things recovering at Olathe 35 northbound. You hit delays at 151st Street. Stays slow up past Santa Fe, but the earlier accident has cleared. East side, 435 southbound, very heavy from 40 Highway down past Raytown Road with an accident in the median. Northbound affected as well from Eastwood Trafficway. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Happy Valentine's Day, Kansas City. We are doing you a favor because you'll do us a favor. You tell us who to give your Valentine's Day wishes out to, and then you tell them to listen to 96.5 The Fan. We are much appreciative of that. From the 913, happy Valentine's Day to Dusty from all the men at Chippendales. Respect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is Chippendale still a thing? And I'm asking in all seriousness. Like, does that exist? Or is that only in Las Vegas? Or where?
I think it's in Vegas.
Yeah.
I think they're still there with the bow tie around the neck and nothing else and just pants.
Yeah. Chris Farley. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Happy Valentine's Day to my cat, Stella, I guess.
Did she get her groove back?
I hope so. Great beer. It used to be a payday beer.
Boy, Stella is one of those beers for me where I had like 17 in one night and haven't had one since.
Yeah, nowadays I moved from Stella to Peroni's, a great beer, an Italian lager. Show my wife saying Happy Valentine's Day to my wife from YouTube. It may be a Tuesday on a Friday for me, if you know what I mean.
Hey, if we can help, man, let's go.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm Hitch, but if a simple Valentine's Day shout out can get you laid.
That's great.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Go for it, man. Hitch was a good movie, too.
It was okay.
I think I watched it 1,000 times.
I can't do Kevin James.
Because I told you about Kevin James?
No, I've just never been a huge fan.
Because Kevin James was the most disappointing interview I've ever done. And my co-host at the time was like, do not bring him on. We were at the Super Bowl in Tampa in 2009. I'm like, oh, no, we're going to have... He goes, he's terrible. You're going to be disappointed. And he was terrible, and I was disappointed.
I want to wish my 3-year-old daughter, Juliet, a happy Valentine's Day. We'll see if she hears it. We're on our way to daycare now. Hopefully it was a long drive. Happy Valentine's Day to Emily. We're getting married next week in Vegas, and then we're headed to spring training. Love you, Gabe. All right. Nice. Happy Valentine's Day to my mom. She's the best. Moms are the best. Happy Valentine's Day to my dude, KJ, 28 years strong. Love, KJ. I don't know if that was a shout out to himself or to somebody they actually know. So, but no, Valentine's Day wishes for you. Happy Valentine's Day to Emily. He already sent that. Thank you very much. Female listener, happy Valentine's Day to my sons, Levi and Lincoln. Thanks, Dusty and Bob, for starting our day with sports and some laughs. And then somebody says, happy Valentine's Day to our favorite regular, Dusty Bazookas. Okay.
When was the last time you went to Bazookas?
Nice. Apparently, I'm a regular.
Honestly, when was the last time you went? You've never been to Bazookas?
Never been.
I don't think I've been. I mean, I know I haven't been since we moved back in 2010. I mean, that was, the Bazookas and Cigar Box were a random frequent back in the day. But I mean, Yeah, I haven't been there in 15, 20 years probably. You, Nathan, last night, as you said?
Exactly. That's what I said. Well, Dusty, you're an equal opportunity consumer there. I can appreciate that. Chippendales, bazookas, just the gamut.
Live life, man.
Yeah.
V-Day PSA, parents, lock your bedroom doors tonight. No kid needs to hear the we are wrestling trauma. Well, never happened to me, so hopefully it never happens to anybody else.
I never caught my parent. I don't know if they ever did once we were conceived. I mean, honestly, I don't know. My kids, on the other hand, forget about it.
An early time to respect the text. If you drink too many Italian beers and become dependent, you have Peyronie's disease.
Yeah. It's really good.
So, gosh. Dusty, can I get a shout out to Donovan's mom? Oh, Donovan Morris on Valentine's Day. We're in the car now. Happy Valentine's Day to Donovan Morris. Happy V-Day to 96.5 The Fan. Sponsored by Mike. He's got this.
He's got it.
That's right. So Vanity created an article of the top 100 acting roles of 21st century.
So we're 25 years into the century already, which, my God.
Yeah, right?
And so it feels like yesterday was Y2K, but like here we are 25 years in. So who do they have on the list?
So number one is not Walter White. I want to let you know.
I thought it was just movies.
No, it's TV show characters.
Oh, TV show characters. It's not Walter White, huh?
He is not number one.
Okay.
And I got to scroll because it's going to take some time. You will be redirected to your article in 15 seconds.
Oh, there you go. 15, 14, 13, 12. Yeah. How could it not be Walter White, though? I mean, I'm trying to think of like better TV character. Now, again, you're talking to the guy that's not a huge TV consumer, but I mean, like Walter White is one of the greatest of all time.
The top five will upset you.
Why is that?
Because you'll be either A, I've never heard of these characters, or B, like totally disagree. Because I didn't want to do like 10 because that's too much to bore people with their ears.
Yeah, the top five.
So just give you the top five. And I agree with some of these because some of these shows I've seen recently, like there's Succession, their character on there is on there in the top
I've heard
five.
that show is great, though. Like
I can't believe you haven't started it yet.
Yeah.
It's loosely based off of the Rupert Murdoch family and Fox.
Yeah.
And then how they, do their daily stuff and how they really control a whole lot of stuff. It's very entertaining. What's his name? Brian? Is it Brian Cox? Brian Cox is fantastic.
He plays the former football player. I like him,
yeah. It looks completely different nowadays on the show on HBO if you're But, I mean, Kenny Powers is on this list. He's like number 49.
But, I mean, he was a great TV character. I don't think anybody would argue that, right?
No.
I mean, was there anything better than season 1 of Eastbound and Down from like a laugh out loud standpoint? I mean, that thing was hysterical.
There was a couple of scenes where I cried. And laughter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Then season 2 wasn't great. And then
but
season
it was
3,
hilarious.
Yeah.
Season 2 is still hilarious.
I mean, but season 1, it's so hard to match what season 1 of Eastbound and Down truly was.
All right. So we'll start at, Walter White is in the top 5.
Okay.
So number 6 is Omar Little from The Wire.
Yeah, number
so
6. All right.
So we'll start
Where's
there.
Bunk on the list? He's a big fan of the show.
He is. Called you out on the streets of knowledge.
Yeah, it was great meeting him and his wife, Erica, who's from Kansas City. Bunk lives in Kansas City. He goes, you're Fesco in the morning? I go, yeah, because I listen to you guys.
And Bob's day, he was shot, like starstruck the rest of the day. He's
starstruck.
like, dude. He called everybody his phone.
Oh, I mean, it was the coolest thing ever,
And he saw
man.
Joey Chestnut at night and says, get this guy away from me. He's not on my level.
Yeah, I mean, like Bunk listens to the show, man, and Erica is his wife. Shout out to them. Great family here in Kansas City. Like, people are moving to KC, man.
So number 5, top acting performance roles-wise on TV, number 5 is Walter White from Breaking Bad.
Okay. I'm good with 6 and 5 so far. 2 unbelievable characters.
Number 4 is Valerie Cherish, who is played by Lisa Kudrow on the show The Comeback.
Okay.
Never seen it.
I have not seen that either. Doesn't mean it's not good, but you know.
Good for Phoebe. Elizabeth Moss.
Smelly cat.
Elizabeth Moss as Peggy Olson from Mad Men. Great character.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen Mad Men.
I've not seen Mad Men either, no. I'm bad, I'm
No,
bad,
you're fine. Number 2, Jeremy Strong as Kendall Roy in Succession.
Okay.
Watch the show.
I gotta watch
You'll
that
understand.
one. Okay.
He is absolutely fantastic in that show. He plays the eldest son, and it basically he does very well at it. And then number 1 is, you might agree, Julia Dreyfus as Selena Mayer and Veep.
Oh my God, what a great show! I mean,
and she still got it in this picture.
Oh yeah, I mean, Julia Louis-Dreyfus always looks great, man. She looks fantastic. But that show, Veep, hysterical. I mean,
Number one
good.
character. She won a ton of, I believe, Academy Awards for that show for lead character.
I'm surprised they gave it to a comedy. You know,
it was, dude. Veep,
she was great.
Veep was like for 3 years of the award shows. It was Julia Dreyfus, Veep, Julia Dreyfus, Veep. It was nonstop.
Yeah,
So
great show.
All those names. I don't know if you had someone in your shows, but all those names I put together. Who are your top 5 roles for the Chiefs players this year?
Yeah,
my list from 1 to 5 is Xavier Worthy number 1. From expectations to being so young to the way he played in the playoffs, the way he just was. Great season for Xavier Worthy. I think he's my number 1.
He's my number 1 too. And did you realize he led all rookie receivers in touchdowns this year by
Crazy.
a long margin? Right,
Crazy.
like people were talking about, Xavier Worthy, is he any good? He had more touchdowns this year as a rookie wide receiver than any other wide receiver that was a rookie in the NFL this year. Magical season by Xavier Worthy. So yeah, I've got him at number 1 on my list too.
Number 2, I have Chris Jones.
Okay,
led the league in pressures. Was the second highest graded defensive lineman in the league this year, only behind Myles Garrett, who will be his teammate next year. Let's just speak that into fruition.
Right, yep.
Myles Garrett and Chris Jones will be teammates.
What if you have to pass on Travis Kelce for one more year to get Myles Garrett?
Sign me up.
Okay.
And then they can decide who wears 95.
Right, yeah.
So, I'll let those two duke that one out.
I'd pay to
Myles,
watch that.
Chris, the floor is yours. Decide.
Go for it, yeah. Actually, if you can't wear 1 if you're Myles Garrett because Worthy has that. But if I was Myles Garrett, give me number 1. I have Kareem Hunt number 2 on this list because this team isn't what they are without Kareem Hunt. Like I didn't think we needed Kareem Hunt to come in here. He came in here and he was just outstanding, man. He was great. He was just what we needed.
Yeah, I thought he was great for his role, coming off the couch.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me was Joe Thuney.
Okay.
Just the role he played. I know the Super Bowl doesn't judge what he did all season, but for what he had to do starting in week 13, 14.
Whatever after that Raider game
week 15,
was.
Week 15. When he had to play left tackle, go from left guard, and be exceptional for the rest of the season into the playoffs. Obviously, the Super Bowl was a different story because they went against some real grown-ass men on a defensive line. Joe Thuney was number 3 for me in big roles for the Chiefs this year.
I got Patrick Mahomes at number 3 this year. He's not going to get enough credit for how good a season it was, but I mean, when you have a rookie lead the league in touchdowns this year, or Worthy leading the rookies in touchdowns this year, that's pretty impressive. I thought the way he blended all his receivers with all the injuries that took place on the receiving core, that took place on the offensive line, all the changes, like Patrick just continued to adjust. I hope Blameyer wasn't too stressed out about it.
Mm-hmm. Number 4 for me is Mahomes, just because since that Week 11 game against Buffalo, he just happened to have his, worst game of the season against the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. But, I mean, didn't have a turnover since Week 11. Obviously, you can blame him or Pacheco in that Buffalo game with the fumble, but took care of business against Buffalo, took care of business against Houston in the playoffs, went on that run, went 15-1 as a starter on the back of a three-peat run, got to the Super Bowl. Mahomes has great numbers after Week 11, that Buffalo game. So, I mean, Mahomes did more than people can think.
Yep.
And led this team to a 15-1 record.
Yeah,
so, number 4.
So you have him 4. I have McDuffie number 4 on the list. I thought he had a fantastic season, man. Like, it's hard to judge when they don't throw to your side of the field, but that's how you judge because they don't throw to your side of the field. And as Nate Taylor talked about yesterday, I think he's one that you start to talk about being a cornerstone of your organization moving forward.
He's 5th on my list. Just because he's important and what he did, and then still the sickest thing of the year they did was catch the interception by checking out the Jumbotron, see which side of the field it was on. Turned out it was his turnaround pick.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then for me, number 5 is Bolton because he's just a tackling machine, and he won a couple of games, especially that Atlanta game for you, making some big plays. He may be gone after this season, but Nick Bolton had quietly a really nice season for this team.
He's not 1, he's not 2, but he's 3, and it's baseball talk on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Hardy. Jim Bob drinks his coffee with Jim Bob World Tour. August 14th at T-Mobile Center with Co Wetzel, Steven Wilson Jr., and Sicarus. ACM Award winner Hardy live. On sale Friday 10 a.m. at livenation.com. Hardy 2025.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
Now, is this a family? Is this your mother? Where is she? Is she in the crowd? The mom's up there. What kind of family is this? I'm sorry.
It Ain't Right Tour 2025.
The poor mother is in the balcony, and the kids are down here with the father and his gumad. If this was the 80s, the kids would have been up there, and the parents would have been down here.
Sebastian Maniscalco, live on stage in Kansas City. T-Mobile Center, Saturday, February 22nd. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
This Valentine's Day, shop at Helzberg and get up to 50% off select jewelry. Like a diamond pendant that says,
I'm so lucky I met you.
a stunning engagement ring to say,
Let's make this day unforgettable.
or an anniversary band to tell them.
10 years, and we still got it.
Come to Helzberg this Valentine's and get up to 50% off select jewelry and engagement rings. A perfect gift designed with the love and care worthy of your story. Visit a Helzberg store or helzberg.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-359-3434. 800-359-3434. Attention small business owners needing financing. Swish Funding is providing funds for expansion, inventory, increased overhead, even slow cash flow to small businesses all over America with affordable funding as soon as one business day. And we're ready to help with funding from $10,000 to $2 million. If you've been in business for 1 year or more with a monthly income of at least $25,000, you can get the affordable funding you need with no collateral. Go to swishfunding.com today. That's swishfunding.com.
Are you ready to start feeling your absolute best? I've got the perfect solution. Stretch Zone, your destination for practitioner-assisted stretching. Whether you're an athlete looking to enhance performance or someone seeking relief from the daily grind, Stretch Zone's personalized stretching sessions cater to all levels and lifestyles. Unleash your potential. Let Stretch Zone guide you to a healthier, more flexible you. 6 area locations. Book your session today at stretchzone.com. Stretch Zone. Stretch, work, play, repeat.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Right now, get up to a $15 gift card after rebate when you purchase select Superstart batteries exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
East side, 435 southbound, you hit delays past 23rd Street and it just crawls down past Raytown Road with an accident blocking the right lane, and then a problem in the median slowing things northbound in the same area. Very heavy from Blue Parkway all the way up towards Raytown Road. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
If you missed it last night, the MLB Network came out with its top 100 players of the new season based on last year. You got it. Bobby Witt Jr. is in the top 10.
Yeah,
Bobby
he is.
Witt Jr. is in the top 5. Bobby Witt Jr. is in the top 3, according to the MLB Network, in baseball players going into 2025.
Wait, hang on a second.
That's right.
Who put this list out? MLB Network?
That's right.
2 weeks ago, they said he was the 4th best shortstop in baseball. And now, yesterday, the same network is saying he's the 3rd best player in baseball.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you get emails of backlash.
I mean, my God.
Which means the only thing I can think of at 8 o'clock on a Friday morning with the Chiefs season being over and Bobby Witt Jr. being named the 3rd best baseball player in baseball, how you doing?
He's the fastest in the league. He steals the base, hitting home runs all over the place. It's Bobby Witt Jr. Every Kansas City fan knows his name, and you know the crowd goes wild when he's sliding to home base. It's Bobby Baseball. Get a free Bobby bobblehead on opening day. Bobby Baseball. Bobby
doesn't get you ready for baseball season, I don't know what else can, because that is one of the greatest jingles of all time. And I don't know how the Royals are going to top that this year. That was their last year's bobblehead featured song for Bobby Witt Jr., but now he's the third best baseball player in the league.
In the league right now. I mean, think about that. We have the greatest football player and the third best baseball player right here in Kansas City. And there was a time when people said that would never happen because you can't, live your life and be a marketable athlete if you're playing in Kansas City. Well, I hate to break it to you. We've bucked that trend in a big way. Have you been to the MLB mobile app Twitter? Like, go to Twitter on your phone and look at the MLB page. Bobby Witt Jr. is like the featured player on the banner on their Twitter page, right in the center. His face is right there. Like, I have a feeling like Major League Baseball going to try to push Bobby Witt Jr. in front of all the masses this year because of how great a baseball player he is. Like, he's everything that you could want. He is your Patrick Mahomes of baseball. He's a dream that we have a player like him here. And if he continues to do what he's doing, he could at some point potentially surpass George as the greatest run. I'm not saying he is even in that category quite yet, but you could see where this is going. If he continues to have season after season after season after season like this, then you're going to have that conversation. Because right now it's George Brett and everybody else, throughout this organization. But, man, this kid has hit the ground running, and it has shown us that you can not only make great money playing here in Kansas City, you can be marketable here in Kansas City, and you can stay long-term here in Kansas City. Mahomes and Bobby Witt are both long-term Kansas City athletes, and 15 or 20 years ago, we're not even having these kinds of conversations.
No, not. I mean, and that's the thing is, I think last year that was a lot of people had called in and said, what was your favorite part about the 2024 Royals? And it was like, was it the playoff run? A lot of people were like, no. I was like, okay, what was it? And it was, well, my favorite part was that they signed the future of the franchise, right? Like you'd mentioned, that normally didn't happen. Like everybody was like, oh, yeah, he'll be a Yankee or he'll be a Met or he'll be whatever, a Ranger.
Right.
And, 3 years
Dodger.
and whatnot. Yeah, well, no doubt about that.
I mean, they could buy the whole Royals team. But that's great that John Sherman did that because that sets the tone and the groundwork for how he's going to run this organization, right? Like no more, I don't think we need to have those conversations around the Royals of, well, we only got 6 years of this guy because they're not going to pay up and keep him here in Kansas City. They have shown us now as a fan base that they will spend that money and keep those players here in Kansas City. And I make a loose analogy to this, but John being a huge Chiefs fan that he is, seeing the way that they do business and what it means to have those cornerstone players locked down and how your fan base embraces them and how it can turn an entire franchise around. Like, if you don't sign Bobby Witt Jr. long-term, you're David Glass 2.0, and ain't nobody wants that, right? John Sherman has come in here and looked at what the Chiefs did, how they marketed their franchise, how they got Patrick Mahomes signed up, and said, you know what, we've got a guy just like that here in Bobby Witt. Let's get the job done. And I bet Mahomes had a little bit of a factor in that as well for Bobby Witt, seeing what Patrick's been able to accomplish here and then getting that deal done with the Royals. So, I mean, it's awesome, the fact that we've got these guys locked up from now until the end of time.
Yeah, it's excitement because, I think that we are now in a year where, like, it's similar parallels to when Mahomes threw for 50 and 5,000.
Yeah.
Right? Like Bobby did that thing last year where I think he was the first shortstop ever to go 30-30 back-to-back years. His defensive numbers got better. I think he was like plus 12 and like defensive runs saved or whatever it is in the stat where like if you make a great play and you save somebody, you obviously get the tally there.
Yeah,
like,
right.
His WAR was higher. His average was better. That month of July was historic.
Historic month.
I mean,
God.
He was at the moment where what is it that George Brett always says? Like, he's a guy you don't go piss for.
Yeah,
like
right,
he's a guy you stay on the top bar no matter how bad you got to go. You're like, Bobby's due up second. I'm not going anywhere.
Right. You want to watch every at bat. Yeah.
And that's the guy that knows about urinals. And the thing that's great about Bobby Witt Jr. and Patrick Mahomes is that the obvious, they play in the same city and they rep the same town. But like the thing that's great about it is that both these guys are exceptionally good for the youth that they have. Like Patrick Mahomes is 29 years old, and people are gonna be like, did he take a step back? How about we say, can he take a step forward? Bobby Witt Jr. is what, 24, 25? Maybe. I'd have to look up his actual age, but I think it's somewhere around there. And he just had an historic year. And baseball has taken a swing towards, hey, it's all about the young superstars. We're done with the, Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire's, those type of guys. Obviously, that was a steroid era, but they were older in their career, like 33, 34, 35. hitting man the shots.
Yeah.
And nowadays, you have guys like Ellie De La Cruz, Fernando Tatis Jr., you have, Francisco Lindor was young when he came up and was a stud, big-time stud last year. Ronald Acuna was the MVP 2 years ago, had a great year. And what's crazy even more so is that Bobby Witt Jr. is this young, and he's only behind Shohei Ohtani, who is the greatest baseball player that we've ever seen. And by the way, he's pitching again.
Yeah, I know. He's pitching again. No, he definitely is.
For the Dodgers. And then Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the list above him.
Yep.
That is it. And yet, where MLB, I will say, did make a miss is that with your youth that you're trying to get back into the game, and I know this is going to sound like a millennial take for all millennial takes, you got to put him on every possible cover there could be, whether it's a billboard, whether it's Times Square, whether it's MLB The Show. You've got to somehow incorporate him because the future of your league in baseball right now, and I mean this wholeheartedly, is Paul Skeens and Bobby Witt Jr. and Ellie De La Cruz.
Oh, there's a lot of good people that you could.
Those are the three you lead with.
Yeah, I mean, look, Shohei Ohtani's always going to be number one. The fact that he was ranked 4th last year, you're telling me there were 3 baseball players better than him last year. Judge was 3rd last year. Witt was 20 last year. So
which is fair.
which was great. I mean, the fact that he was a top 20 player after just one season and now moved up to number 3 is outstanding. But I mean, you're looking at where baseball is right now, and quite honestly, and I'm obviously a little bit older by a decade than you. I don't remember baseball having this many stars since I was a kid, like where you could truly market it around these players. When you start to look at the top players in the game, I think everybody loves Shohei Ohtani. No matter what team you are, you marvel at that guy. You want to go watch him play. Same with Aaron Judge. Every kid wants to hit home runs. Then you got Bobby Witt Jr. at number 3. Juan Soto coming in at number 4. Mookie Betts, I mean, my goodness, number 5. Lindor comes in at 6. Yordan Alvarez, Freddie Freeman, obviously, with his World Series performance. Jose Ramirez coming in at number 9. Jose Ramirez is one of the best players in baseball, and that dude came in at number 9. When I saw that last night, I'm like, oh my God, Jose's down there really low. I mean, when you start to think about the talent in this game, and then the shortstops, Gunnar Henderson's on that list in the top 10, Skeens, Acuna. I mean, there are so many great young baseball players right now. Like, it is really cool to see the youth and the superstars that these young guys have already become. And I think Major League Baseball realizes that, and I think they are going to do a great job of marketing these young players. And we're going to see them out in the forefront a lot more than we have before. And a network like ESPN, man, like you can show highlights. There's a cool factor in baseball again.
Oh, yeah.
Witt makes the top 10 for the 2nd straight year, coming off a breakout superstar season. He led the majors with a .332 batting average. He had a .389 on base. He slugged .588. Doing so with elite fielding. He was +12 in fielding run value last year. And wait, I'm not done. He's the fastest man in the sport. The resume, the projections could hardly be more impressive.
And that's Bobby Witt Jr. going to his next year.
Right.
And he plays in Kansas City.
And the best thing about it is he didn't have a great postseason, just like Mahomes' last game wasn't great. Bobby Witt's going to be fired up, dialed in, and ready to rock and roll this year. I can't wait to watch him in October.
Yeah, you're in a world today in Kansas City where your quarterback gets you to baseball season and your baseball MVP gets you to football season.
That's exactly right.
And they're both maybe the best in their game.
And the best in the game. I was talking to, Binkley last night. I said, well, at least the Chiefs got us to open or the beginning of training camp for the Royals this year.
Got them to spring training.
Got us to spring training, right? The Chiefs got us to spring training. It's all we could ask for, right? I mean, it's crazy to think about it. The Chiefs get you to spring training. The Royals get you to the middle of football season now. Like, it's great, man. And for the Royals' sake, you got to start hot. Get that hot start out of the way. Get wins under your belt early and really have that focus for October, because that's where Bobby Witt's really going to be a star. In baseball, you become a star based on what you do in the postseason, which is why Freddie Freeman is going to be such a big star this year because of what he did in the World Series last year. Bobby Witt plays big in October. He'll be the biggest star in baseball.
No doubt about it. Coming back, we'll dive more into this Royals team, what this means from the past and what it means for the future here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Men, this is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And though I generally talk about medicine and effective treatments for erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues, today I want to talk about love. Because love is the best reason to get treated for your ED. You see, ED can cause major relationship issues. In fact, men often push their partners away when ED becomes a problem. The condition can cause depression, arguments, breakups, and even contribute to divorce. But the good news is that if you're like most men suffering with ED, you can be successfully treated at Heartland Men's Health and put a stop to the relationship stresses that ED can cause. I say this with all confidence because we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Truly, it's likely you'll find you're performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and get the love back in your life. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Let's talk about the buying experience at Lewisburg Ford.
It's the best anywhere. Just ask all our customers, Toby. It is hands down the best experience you can have buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby Tobin price that we've had for 35 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years, and I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices, but there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby.
No.
There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. And it's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or lewisburgford.com.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
With Target, checking off your Valentine's Day list has never been easier. First, surprise your favorite people with something extra thoughtful, like a soothing candle and a memorable scent, or a decorative picture frame to show off every moment. Both buy one, get one 50% off with Target Circle. And don't forget to treat yourself. Find the sweetest style for your special occasion with 20% off women's dresses now through Friday. This week, find Valentine's gifts for everyone you love, only at Target.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime-forcing, playoffs on the line golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Everyone deserves to elevate their beef. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal they'll never forget or impress your friends, neighbors, and coworkers, their Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
East side, big trouble as you make your way 435 southbound. You hit delays past 23rd Street. It just crawls down past Raytown Road, where an accident blocks the left lane and eventually the right lane, though you're never quite down to one lane on that. Northbound, very heavy as well, coming up from Blue Parkway, with the left lane blocked on that side. Alan Card, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Back here on Fesco and Dusty, 96.5 The Fan. Jay Binkley in the house.
Looks like, Nathan, you win the over-under bet. You said 957, so we all took under. So.
Yeah, I lost. Binkley is in the house. He'll be here from 10 to 2 with Drew.
Maybe.
I think.
He'll be ripping takes today, let me tell you.
Pay some, Bob. Happy Valentine's Day to my wife, Tammy. This is our 30th anniversary, and she's still my best friend. Go Chiefs.
There you go.
Catching up on the app from the 253. There's an Australian version of Chippendales called the Thunder Down Under.
Yeah, I've heard of them, yeah.
There's a lot of Australian people in New Orleans this past week.
Yeah.
Ton.
Vip texted us about Chippendales earlier, and he said they have now moved the Chippendales from the Rio to Harrah's now in Las Vegas. So if you're out there, you can go to Chippendales at Harrah's.
Does he have a Chippendales koozie?
He probably does.
I like that guy.
Of course, everybody loves Vip.
He's a koozie guy. Everywhere.
They bonded. Oh, it was a bond made in heaven.
Right when we first met, right?
You have your own koozie too?
Bob's like, drinking faster, blank.
I drink so fast it never gets warm.
Roses are red, so is this wine. Girl, you are stone cold stunning, and that's the bottom line.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, hey, girl, you're fine.
Nah, you got to go Steve Austin on that one.
That's good.
So I don't know if you guys like New Heights because of the Kansas City connection, and obviously there are connections outside because they interview everybody from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Digging Deep podcast with Hosmer and Moose. If you want like a really good, like, I know a lot of you will watch the franchise of this season again, like in June and July to get you ramped up for football. Listen to this podcast. It's great. It's basically a Kansas City Royals podcast. They have Lorenzo Cain on this week. And I thought he said some interesting stuff about last season of the Royals going into this season, as well as what it was going into 14 into 15. But this was Lorenzo Cain on the 2025 Royals going into this year.
Speaking of those boys right now, too, how are you feeling in the 2025 season with these boys, with what they got going right now?
Hey, the way they finished last year, like I honestly just, I wasn't sure how far they were going to go last year, but they played some good ball towards the end there, man. So it was fun to watch towards the end there. So coming in this season, they got a lot of expectations. You guys, we both know about the expectations. So, hey, they got to go out there and get it done. Like we said, 14, when we lost the World Series, going back to 15, it was unfinished business. So I think they're in the same boat, but let's go out here and get it done.
They were crazy in 15 going into the season. And the backstory on that whole thing is so they lose Game 7, right? We go into the locker room, and it was the first time we'd ever experienced playoffs in Kansas City, right? I think for all of us, right? First time that we've ever experienced a real playoff game, World Series and all this stuff. We were pretty excited in 14 around here. I was talking about it yesterday with somebody. I mean, about what it was like in October of 14. It's the best sports month I've ever had, right? And it was awesome, and they didn't win it. But I remember in that locker room, guys were kind of down and whatnot, as you would be. You lose Game 7 of the World Series and whatnot. But, man, it was a great season. And we walked out of the stadium that night, I go, man, that was a hell of a lot of fun. As we were all walking out of the stadium that night, I go, man, that run was a lot of fun. those guys, before that door even opened and the media went in, they said, we're winning this thing in 2015. And from the minute that last out was made until the minute they won it in New York, it sounds a lot like what the Chiefs went through after they lost to the New England Patriots and won it the next year, right? Doesn't normally happen that way. Usually you make it to the World Series and then you fall back and whatnot, right? And so they had in their mind from the day that final out was made to the day the final out was made in New York in Shea Stadium, they were going to win this World Series. And they showed up at spring training, and that was their only goal. And I'll be honest with you, having Ned around at this point in time to kind of relay that message to those kids is good. But more importantly, I want Haas and Moose and Kane and even Salvi at this point to say, hey, this is what we did last time we fell short of winning a world championship. We came back, dialed in, and that was our only goal, and we achieved that goal. And it sure sounds like they're kind of going in the right direction. Some of my spies at spring training said last week that, it's supposed to just be pitchers and catchers here, and we've got position players. They're all here right now, and that's very reminiscent of 2015.
And I'm glad you said that because they talk about 2014 going to 2015 on the Digging Deep podcast with Hosmer, Moose, and Kane, and this is what they said about that year.
That was wild in 14 or in 15 spring training. Usually, like, you have guys in before the first day of camp, guys are kind of funneling in, showing up here and there. Our whole team was there like a week and a half, 2 weeks early. Like everybody, maybe not Esky, but everybody else.
Esky, shout out to Esky. Boy, you're always late every day.
Esky's still playing too.
2 days late to spring training every year, boy.
Yeah. I tell people about that too, Hoss. I tell people that year, like from 14, that 15 year, I said, I don't think I've ever seen, I felt like everyone showed up, like locked in and in shape and ready to go for 15, man.
Yeah.
I saw it like a determined, like a focused group. And I think our 15, the way we played, it showed. It showed a lot.
Definitely did, man. I mean, we all took care of business individually and as a team. You're right. Everybody, like the old spring training, we're in the best shape of our life, but everybody really was.
Shout out Esky.
Esky, who's still playing, they said, right?
He's playing somewhere like in Japan or China. He's playing somewhere like Venezuela, Puerto Rico. Anywhere he can get on a roster, he'll play.
I swear to God, he was with the Nationals last year. I could be wrong. At some point, he may have been with the Nationals last season in Major League Baseball, but I kind of lost track after that, and it could have been 5 years ago now that I think about it, but who knows? But yeah, they came in. They were ready to go, the best shape of your life, all that stuff. That's the way the Royals have to build on it this year, and they've got the horses to do it. They've got everybody back, right? They didn't really lose anybody off of that team from last year.
And there are similarities in this team. Now, Hosmer was the superstar.
Right.
Like, we all know that. He's not Bobby Witt Jr., but superstar level.
Yep.
Like, Hosmer wasn't really regarded as in the league as that guy, but like when the Royals went anywhere else, let's say they were to go to Colorado and play baseball, everyone on the visiting crowd would be like, yeah, 35 is like Hosmer. That's their guy.
Right.
He's really good. Salvador Perez, another one. And now that team, when they lost, however you want to, 90 feet away, Bumgarner, heartbreak, and what that whole season was. And then they came back and just went, basically wire to wire and were determined. That year, last year, and you talk about the 14 locker room, I was at that game against New York when they lost. And you go into that locker room and Bobby's in tears and other players are just sitting there. Other players are sitting at the dinner table that they have, like, depressing eating like their food. Like, yeah, it's like, sure, like, here we go. And, I go in there and thanked Q for all the interviews he did on our show. And he's kind of glassy eyed. Like, I'm watching my kids lose. It's tough to be
tough. Yeah.
And sometimes, and that's what I say, is like sometimes you have to get broken into a billion pieces to build yourself back. That loss they had against the Yankees tasted like absolute crap. Bobby Witt Jr. was terrible in that series, and he knows it. And now what do you have to do? You have to come back even stronger. You hear Lorenzo Cain, Moose, and Haas talk about how that 15 season, everybody showed up 2 weeks early. What everybody do this year?
They were all there early.
They're all there early.
They're all there. Yeah.
Like, they were there before Pitcher to Catcher got there. Bobby was in Arizona when we were in Radio Row.
Yeah.
Because we were thinking about maybe if he was going to be around, what he think about coming and joining the show.
Yeah, I was told, no, he's already in Arizona.
He's already in Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're picked second in their division via DraftKings to finish second. Those are the odds. Their over-under wins 83.5. Bobby Witt Jr. is second in the league in favorites to win the MVP. I think you should put that bet on it now. I talked to somebody in the text line. The earlier the better, because if he starts the year off like hitting 380 with 10 home runs and whatever, then
forget about it. You're not going to make any money.
It's going to be, I mean, you will, but you could make significantly more getting ahead of the curve. And so this team, with what they've done and the man that they put in charge in Cotrero, like, they're built to be successful. Whether you like it or not, you could say last year was a fluke. Those guys will never have years like they had in the pitching mound. Like, that was just an anomaly of a year. Okay. But even if they're just a shade below that, but they have the bullpen now, that, if so facto, deletes some of those early Will Smith blown saves in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Some of those early blown saves in Cleveland. Those go away because now you have a team that has seen it, tasted it, smelled it, tried it. They know what it is to get there. Now they also know what they got to do to get past that. So that's a dangerous combination with a young, determined team with a few veterans that lead this ship, which is Lugo and Waka and Perez. And then you have guys like Bobby Witt Jr. You have guys like Michael Massey, who's going to be back next year, hopefully healthier with the back. You have Vinny Pasquantino, hopefully can stay healthy this year and come back and be your leader on that. And we'll see where this team goes. But I think this is the first time since 2015 you've really had the feeling of belief and excitement.
Yeah, what were your expectations going into 2016? Because in 2016, we started that season. I'm like, whatever happens, we just won the World Series, man. That was great. You didn't really have
16,
expectations.
it was like, how much longer are they going to do it?
Yeah.
And what's the run they
finished
can make?
81-81, but I think that was the year where Moose got injured and Gordo got hurt on that play in Chicago where they collided, and then Kane got hurt, and they were never really able to recover from those injuries. Again, why you have to cherish all of these special seasons that we're seeing, because not just on baseball, but football, as we've talked about, injuries are the one thing that you can't control. And a lot of people still believe and will tell you that in 2016, those guys don't get injured. There's an opportunity for a repeat that year. But guys got injured and they weren't able to make it back to the postseason. So that's going to be the number one thing, is to avoid long-term injuries to players that matter. And last year, for all intents and purposes, this was a healthy team until the Vinny Pasquantino injury happened. And then they kind of spiraled and derailed a little bit, but so did Minnesota, thank God. And we were able to kind of find our way into the postseason. So you've got to avoid those injuries, and that's so easier said than done, obviously. So that's the number one key this year for the Royals. If they stay healthy, there's no reason they're not winning this division this year, right? If they stay healthy and do what they did last year, and some people get better, like Michael Garcia and MJ Melendez and Bono in center and Hunter Renfroe, like if the bats get better in the outfield and some of these guys take that next step, yeah, they're going to win this division. But you got to stay healthy, and that's the number one thing for this ball club and for any team, is that health factor, because nobody's backups are anywhere near as good as their starters.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Nathan, where are you ready for baseball season?
I'm at an 11.
Yeah, I was going to say 11 or 12, right?
Baseball
I'm ready.
never sleeps for me. And I'm a huge Chiefs fan, and of course, that is the talk of the town. It should be. Baseball's always been my number one, guys, and I can't wait to get started. Alcides Escobar, by the way, is currently a free agent. He spent the last 2 years in Mexico.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
And he's currently a free agent.
Winterhorse is on TV. Alcides Escobar is a free agent. Ned Yost is back with the Royals.
Maybe a little bit of another connection. Bring Esky back, right? He could be the third base coach.
Or no, because that guy's what? He's the one that gets on the ground and like lays down.
Oh yeah, that dude.
That's our guy.
Yeah. Got to keep that guy right. I'm just thinking of something for Esky to do.
Yeah.
I saw Rusty was riding his bike yesterday around spring training, which is awesome.
Was the fungo below it? Like
I didn't see that.
He had it seethed in the bike. So he says Esky will play till they're 50 and 15. Nobody like the Royals outside of this region. And Detroit is stacked. Detroit's
got a great roster, but
they might have the best pitcher in the game.
They might have. They may. But, I mean, doesn't matter. You still got to go out there and do it. They may have the best pitcher in the game. He pitches one every 5 days. We have the best player in the game.
I'll also say Detroit got a lot. They're going to get a lot of love this year because of the way they ended the season.
Of course, they should.
They didn't have but one hitter have an above-average OPS last year. I know that's getting a little nerdy for you, but it's true. They had one hitter that was above league average. That was Riley Green. He was an all-star. He had a great year, but it was really
a country singer?
Yeah. You've heard of Riley Green.
Right, yeah. He sings that, I left my beer in Texas or something, right?
He's the duck man.
Isn't that every country song? I left my beer in Texas with my women.
No.
No?
It's really him and Tarek Skubal that you can count on. There's nobody else that you know is going to replicate those last couple months of the season.
Would you take Tarek Skubal here in Kansas City for Hunter Renfrow, a 1-for-1 trade right now?
I mean,
our hard-hitting questions on this Friday.
Did the Lakers take Luka for Anthony Davis?
That would be the baseball version. The Royals get Tarek Skubal for Hunter Renfrow. What?
No, that'd be the dumbest trade in sports history. I'm not trying to take a shot at Hunter Renfrow, but
no, it would be a terrible trade, but I would do it. That's what everybody. Can we trade Hochaver and get no? It's like we were talking yesterday with the Chiefs. Yeah, trade Mike Pinnell. I mean, you're not getting anything in return. You want to get something in return, you give up Chris Jones.
Yeah. But he's the only defensive tackle you have signed to the roster, so it's kind of tough to trade that.
So I wouldn't want to face Detroit in a 5-game playoff series because they can go twice with Skubal. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not scared of them over 162 as currently
But this could also be the year where, like, Cole Reagans has just got the hose. I mean, the guy's coming off 2 Tommy John surgeries. Last year he was a little bit outshined by Seth Lugo. But coming down the stretch, I mean, Reagans was like, we had the discussion. In game 1 of the playoffs, are you giving Lugo the ball or Cole Reagans the ball? And we still get to have that discussion. Who's your opening day starter?
Reagans. It's Cole Reagans.
It's going to be.
Yeah.
And I hope it is for the next 8 years.
Yeah, right. Like, we don't have to go through this every year where Hochaver's your opening day starter and you're down 9-0 in the top of the first and everybody's leaving. And it's snowing and nasty. And, like, those are the days, man. Like, we've got ourselves a bona fide ace. We got ourselves a bona fide MVP candidate. You got a bona fide ace and a bona fide MVP candidate on your roster, your chances are pretty darn good. And all the ancillary pieces are good, too. Because in baseball, like a pitcher to MVP, you need more than that, obviously, over the course of 162. And the Royals have that. They got the veteran leadership in Salvi. They've got a solid rotation. I mean, they're going to be really good this year. It's going to be a fun baseball season from start to finish. And we go into this season really for the first time in a decade with true expectations for our ball club. And I love that.
And those same guys who did that podcast, Moose Haas and Kane, who was their guest this week, this is what they said about Bobby Witt Jr.
But first and foremost, it starts with Bobby Witt Jr. Let's be honest. You can't make a shortstop list without him being number 1.
The way I look at shortstop is when I was playing third base, I want to look to my left and see a guy that's going to make me significantly better than I really am.
He's got 40 bags in a year, 40 homers, MVP type stuff. Defensively, he's got all that type of stuff. So it's kind of a league of his own.
You can't have Bobby Witt as the 4th shortstop in baseball, okay?
Anytime you don't have Bobby Witt at number 1 or in the top 2, it's time to go back and reconstruct the algorithm.
Yeah.
We agree on that one. We agree on
That's
that
an
one.
easy. Yeah, he's not 4.
No.
So they weren't fans of that list either. It's the 4th best shortstop.
I mean, who came up with that? Something called the Shredder or something?
And I think the names they had above him were Lindor, Betts, Seager.
They didn't even have Gunnar Henderson.
Or no, it was. I think it was. Yeah, so it was Henderson, Lindor, Betts, Bobby. I think those were your 4 shortstops.
Look, the shortstop position is as good as it's been in 25 years. It's awesome right now.
Yeah.
But Bobby Witt is still the best one in the game right now.
And then the cover of MLB Show 25, I believe, is De La Cruz, Paul Skeens, and Gunnar Henderson. So maybe now in baseball,
who are they? Skeens, Henderson. Who's the third one?
De La Cruz,
De La Cruz, yeah.
Cincinnati.
I mean,
it's tough, but put 4 on.
Put 4. Put Bobby up
Nobody
there
wants
too.
3.
Yeah.
Nobody likes odd numbers.
Well, I mean, we should replace Gunnar Henderson, quite frankly, with Bobby Witt. We beat their ass.
So is Bobby Witt? If Bobby Witt Jr. is Patrick Mahomes, is Gunnar Henderson Josh Allen?
So far,
is that where we're at?
I kind of like that analogy in that comp. Yeah, so far, yeah.
I mean,
hasn't beaten Bobby when it matters most yet.
Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City.
Yeah.
Bobby's a superstar. Gunner's a superstar. Which one's better? They play the same position.
Yeah. Do you think the Dodgers will let either of us win a World Series in the next 10 years?
Wouldn't that be the best taste in the world?
Beating the Dodgers in the World Series? Oh, hell yeah.
I will go naked.
As
if that
much
happens.
as the villain has been here in Kansas City with the Chiefs, we would be the heroes of the sports world if we beat the Dodgers in the World Series, right? I mean, like, everybody would fall back in love with Kansas City.
Yeah.
And everybody be rooting for us in that World Series, too.
Somebody said, I'm pretty sure the Ninja Turtles beat the Shredder. Yeah.
I love that show.
Ninja Turtles?
Oh, God, that cartoon was the
it
best.
just me, or did their pizza look like the best pizza you've ever seen in your life, even though it was a cartoon?
Yeah, it looked good. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just always, and it was definitely New York style pizza.
Yeah, right. They would throw that pizza like, turtles fighting with pizza. Sign me up.
Somebody says they're going to get Bobby Witt Jr. his own cover in 26. It's going to be better than 3 people. That would be awesome.
Yes.
That would be awesome. I mean, if you I don't know.
But do you want to go that route and have the Madden curse? You know,
There's no such thing as MLB The Show curse.
Well, have we only had one player on it yet?
No, I mean, we had Mahomes on it twice, and there was never a curse.
Never a curse there.
I don't believe, because he was on it with Brady, and then he was on it by himself.
Right, and they didn't, obviously they didn't win the Super Bowl that year, so people said maybe that was a curse, but I don't know.
I think there was one year you could have gotten in an alternate cover of MLB, because they don't just do the one cover. They have different editions of the game, and I think Hosmer was on one of those other edition covers back in the day.
I think you're right.
Okay.
I think Bobby Witt's going to be standalone on a cover at some point.
Yeah. He's trending that way.
He's too marketable. He's too good.
You just hope the rest of the country embraces Bobby Witt Jr. too, right?
And I think he got a little taste of that home run derby. That home run derby that, I don't know, some of us did. Oh, it was Henderson, Seager, Lindor. Those are your,
Okay.
I thought that's what we said. I think it was. But yeah, no, it's that home run derby, I think, is really what kind of elevated him a little bit, because I don't think a lot of people still watch the home run derby just because it's so drawn out and long, and some people find it boring. But the way that home run derby ended, and it was him and Teoscar Hernandez, and then you had the local betting atmosphere in it too. Because I mean, I think I was on Cody and Gold, or maybe were we doing the show then? That would have been July,
right about the time.
I think that might have been. I might have been filling in for Kling or something. But I remember I bet him to win the home run derby, and he got to the final two, and I'm like, okay. And then it ends with that just short of the wall.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh. And then you're like, Kansas City market, Kansas City athlete, Bobby Witt Jr., kind of cool, kind of fly. Then you see what he did in the regular season. Then you had that July, which really catapulted him on the national stage. And then they make the playoffs. And now it's like, okay, now you've done all that. Now, what do you do with it?
How do you bring Bobby Witt though to the passive baseball fan? You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'll just say a 47-year-old dad with kids who lives in, let's say, Pensacola, Florida, doesn't really consume baseball like we consume baseball. How do you bring Bobby Witt Jr. to that guy? The NFL's great because they're all standalone games and they do, it is what it is. But how do we get the Aaron Judge thought out of people's head and replace that with the Bobby Witt Jr. thought on the national level? And I ask because I don't know what the answer is. I look up and I go, ESPN could have a hand in this, but I know with their TV ratings, the Yankees get $3 million a game. Everybody else gets less than $1 million a game when they put somebody other than the Yankees on Sunday Night Baseball. So they're not going to do that type of stuff. But how do we get Bobby Witt Jr. out there and make him as popular as Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani?
The easy answer is continue the historic pace, because Bobby's going to do it himself, unfortunately, in baseball. And then,
I think you're right about that.
And then you've kind of got to push it like Mahomes. There's nobody better. And then if you're following that you have of 30,000 or so on X, and then all of a sudden starts getting retweeted, highlights get going, somebody in Florida is going to catch on, and there's going to be baseball nuts. And then all of a sudden the MLB Network's going to talk about it, and then ESPN's going to talk about it, and then FS1's going to talk about it. And then all of a sudden it's going to be hey, we have an anomaly in baseball right now, and it's Bobby Witt Jr., and that's how Florida finds out. That's the run that it has to be, because baseball is so far forgotten.
I know.
Plus, if you're in Pensacola, Florida in the middle of the summer, you're playing golf or you're in the water.
But wherever you are, though, outside of Kansas City, you've got to find a way to market this guy and put him out there.
No doubt.
But it's got to be an extreme run, too. I mean, I remember after you came back from the Battery, a couple years ago, Bob, talking about how does the casual fan not know the run that Ronald Acuna has been on the last half decade?
Right.
I mean, absolute superstar in the game. Nobody knows about him unless you're a hardcore baseball fan.
I know, and that's the hard part with baseball. You have to be a seam head.
Yep.
And in other cities to know what's going on,
Or you've got to be egregiously different. And De La Cruz is different because he throws the ball 100 miles an hour from third to first. He steals a base every time he's on. He's very charismatic, very colorful, and hits piss missiles.
You look at that guy, you're like, I want to be that dude.
Correct.
Yeah.
But Bobby Witt Jr. is that guy.
Yeah.
And, De La Cruz is a little flashier. Bobby Witt Jr. is a little bit more quiet. And I think this is a good point. Baseball is very regional.
I know it. That's what I'm saying.
And
How do we expand the regionality of Bobby Witt Jr.?
Well, the Royals, it's a lot on the Royals. It's the Bobby Witt Jr.'s got to continue to be great. The Royals have to continue to be a winning team, and they've got to win big games against big teams. And then when you play later on in the playoffs and you play teams like New York, or you play a team, like a Cleveland, who's been good for a while, or even a Minnesota team who has a big market, not baseball-wise, but media-wise.
They're number 6 media market, yeah.
Then you get to that level. Mahomes' 55,000 year was great. Football is on top of the world. Everyone saw it. Everybody loved it. It wasn't until year 2 or 3 where everybody's like, holy blank, this guy's really good, and the Chiefs are a problem.
But the NFL also does such an amazing job of constantly keeping you updated during games of what's going on and showing highlights during your own game that you're watching. So even if you're watching Pittsburgh and Cincinnati that first year of Mahomes, you were seeing a ton of highlights from Patrick Mahomes, right?
Oh, yeah.
We don't do that in baseball where we go, let's go to James Brown in New York for a game break or something like that. Like, we don't have that in baseball where we're doing that. And maybe that needs to be something that the local television networks do. Show more highlights of other guys to grow the game, because if you grow the game, it's better for everybody.
Somebody says, or Bobby could start dating Sabrina Carpenter. Well, the problem is he's married and happily married.
Right.
I'm glad you brought up TV and how things are dying. College basketball, big trouble here with what's going on with streaming devices. We'll talk about that and talk about why cable might be coming back to your house, whether you like it or not. Bob Fesco, Nathan, Dusty, here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, Missouri sports fans, listen up, because I have got unbelievable news for you. Underdog is available to play in your state. And this basketball season, when your favorite stars score buckets, we're alley-ooping you an opportunity to win money from watching sports with underdogs. To play with the Underdog app like we do, choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats: points, assists, rebounds, and more. And they've got all of your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. You can create entries with all basketball selections or mix and match across all the other sports as well. And you can play with as little as $1 to get everything right. And if you do, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. You can turn $1 into 1,000 with just your hoops knowledge. So download the Underdog app like I did and sign up now using promo code BOB to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code BOB. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash upon that first deposit. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Attention lovebirds. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Diamonds Direct has the gifts to wow your special someone. From dazzling diamonds and trending gold to vibrant gemstones, pearls, even timepieces. With hundreds of stunning styles under $1,000 and an exquisite collection of one-of-a-kind luxury pieces. Make your moment unforgettable. The best selection, value, and service are waiting for you. Make this Valentine's unforgettable with fine jewelry for every budget. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Pheasants Forever's National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic is coming to the Kansas City Convention Center this March 7th through the 9th. Join us for puppy and dog training seminars, a youth village for kids, pollinator and wildlife habitat hunting gear in the 20th anniversary of Quail Forever. It's National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic the weekend of March 7th. Presented by Pheasants Forever, Quail Forever, and Federal Ammunition. For more information, log on to pheasantfest.org.
Friday is Valentine's Day, so if you still have shopping to do, then it's time to get to Macy's, because we make finding the perfect gift so easy. How easy? We have last-minute gifts that feel truly thoughtful, like fragrance gift sets from Yves Saint Laurent, Carolina Herrera, and Marc Jacobs, boxed and ready to give. Yeah, it doesn't get much easier than that. So head to Macy's and make their Valentine's Day a little more special and your life a little bit easier. But hurry in, because you're almost out of time. These deals end tonight at Macy's.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service, real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
This is the story of the one Who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Casey's has 8 new coffee roasts that have been described as having rich aromatics that entice any palate. But, we're not sure what that means, so we just call it darn good coffee. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. Now get a small hot coffee for 99 cents. See Casey's for details.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by the technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. East side, 435 southbound, heavy from 40 Highway down to Raytown Road with an accident in the right lane. Kansas side, 35 southbound, slow rolling from Antioch down to Shawnee Mission Parkway with a wreck on the shoulder. Money back guarantees and parts and labor warranties mean you aren't just buying products, you are securing your investment. For a limited time, receive a free furnace when you purchase an AC. Schedule your complimentary proposal online at anthonyphc.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll get to our Richard of the Week, which I guess we could all have the same one when it comes to YouTube TV.
Yeah, we could.
This sucks, man, because very few times are we right about the future. But I remember doing a show on After Hours when they started talking about where games were going to be played, which streaming devices were going to get games, which games were going to go here. And I said, eventually we're going to get to the point where everybody has too many streaming devices and too many options where they're going to be like, well, I'm just going to have to sacrifice. I'm not going to be able to watch the game on Paramount Plus because I've already got Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus, and YouTube TV. And then all of a sudden I thought to myself, okay, well, if you have 5 streaming devices, and let's say on average they're all $12 a piece, that's $72.
You're paying
right?
for cable, yeah.
Whereas cable, the only headache is you say to yourself, well, I don't want to have to pay $220 a month or whatever your cable bill is. Let's say it's $200. And I don't want to pay because I don't need, Spanish Nickelodeon, and I don't need 30 music channels, and I don't need, Ion Sports or whatever it is. I'm just making names up now. And so you were frustrated with it. But the one thing I will say is that with cable, you never have to worry. And then you can figure out what streaming devices you want. Whereas YouTube TV just announced they're dropping CBS.
All the Paramount channels.
The Paramount
which
channels.
Which is 20 channels.
Right before the March Madness tournament starts. Now who's the main character for March Madness?
CBS, right? And Turner and all that stuff, which is Paramount. And I guess they reached a tentative agreement late last night or something like that.
I bet they did with all the backlash they got.
But exactly. But this is why people moved away from cable and went to streaming, so they weren't beholden to the cable companies in these disputes all the time, right? And so you got out of it. And you're like, all right, I don't have to worry about this anymore. But as, Josh and I would talk about over the years, because he was really early in on the streaming and whatnot, I'm like, I'll just continue to pay my cable. I like to sit down and I like to know 206 is where my game is on DirecTV, right? And I still have, DirecTV because I still have kids that are doing things. I may need to record games. It gives me the opportunity to do so. And so I've always been there with that. And then I thought about going to, YouTube TV. And then you see this dispute with Paramount Plus, and basically YouTube TV has now become just another cable outlet where you're beholden to what they want to give you and what you want to see if you have YouTube TV. Or you can just spend the money, on Paramount Plus and add that into your repertoire of channels to be had. But I think what people want is they want all their stuff in one spot. They want what cable used to be, right? They want it bundled all back in together. and not have these disputes. And if you're YouTube TV, 2 weeks ago you raised your rates by $10 and then you cut 20-some channels off the top, people are pissed, man, as they should be, because this is why people went away from cable and satellite, so they didn't have to deal with this. And here we are immediately dealing with this. And at the end of the day, it's not much cheaper than having the cable package.
Right. And then somebody says it's funny because we left cable because of all the commercials. And we're still suffering from dumb commercials and worse broadcasts. Bring back cable. And the thing that's crazy is that, one, the timing of being like, yeah, we're done with CBS and all that sort of stuff. Like, you do realize that it is February 14th.
That's right.
And one of the biggest times for CBS outside of the football season is a month away.
Right.
And not only that, but like they tell you to get these streaming devices, and then it's like this year it's $10, next year it's $13, next year it's $17, now it's $20. It's $25 if you don't want commercials.
Right.
It's all BS. And like Netflix does this now. Like, who'd have thought at one point Netflix was going to just sell you commercials or non-commercials? Like, we have the executive package, and then we have the non-executive.
Right.
That comes with commercials, but it's $7 cheaper. And it's like, what are you going to do with all this?
Yeah, I don't mind paying less and having commercials. That doesn't bothers my wife. I don't want to see the commercial. Fine, whatever. But
it bothers you because I've been spoiled by it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like my whole life, I watched it, and all of a sudden you go to somebody else's house and watch a TV show on YouTube, and it's like, why is he going to commercial break for 30 seconds? You're like, oh, I have the standard. I'm like,
yeah, okay, yeah, I've got the standard package and whatnot. And a lot of people get whatever they get, like your phone company offers you, like T-Mobile, which I have. You get MLB TV for free, during the season, so you get every game on your phone, which is cool. And, you get the MLS package. I think my internet provider, AT&T, gives us HBO Max. That's included in that kind of stuff. So some people have, some of their stuff already connected in, and it's already, kind of quote-unquote free, if you will. It's included with your phone bill or internet bill and stuff like that. But you're out there subscribing to everything right now. That's why you see all these commercials for these companies that go, do you know what you're subscribed to? Call us and let us find out what you're paying for that you don't know about, like the gym membership, because everybody's paying for these things right now.
Like, you probably have ESPN Plus, don't even know it. You're losing $10 and $15 a month.
Yeah, right. Like, I've got it. I know it personally. But, I couldn't. I think we have Disney Plus.
You might have that package, like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
How many of those I log, I don't know. So I don't know. What we have, what we don't have. I think my daughter has subscribed to Paramount Plus, and we already had a Paramount Plus subscription. And you're like, it's like, what are you doing here? We've already had this subscription that we're paying for. So it's crazy that the fact that they're making you work to get your games and your stuff. And that's why I say once the NFL goes away from CBS and Fox and free TV, over-the-air TV, that's when they're going to kill themselves, because people don't want to hunt and peck for games. They really don't. They just want to know where it is.
Yeah, because the Royals are on like the Bally's app.
Yeah,
again,
you can
right?
buy the Royals for $99 for the year. Yeah.
And then you have all the games you want on one specific app.
Right. If you just want Royals baseball, $99 for the year, you get all the Royals games. But if you're like me and you like to consume all of baseball, because since the pitch clock, I binge baseball now. Like, I will start it, like, if there's a day game, and just watch all day if I can, because the games move so fast. And I think it's great. And as somebody pointed out on the text line, we need Red Zone for baseball right now, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
all for
how great would that be to have a Red Zone channel every night for MLB? The problem is, though, you've got the games that start at 6 o'clock on the East Coast, and, it's all time zone. So that Red Zone day, if you're on the East Coast, you're probably not getting the West Coast stuff, and maybe vice versa. But even still, offer it to somebody. Get it out there. Let people have the option to have a Red Zone, if you will, for baseball. So I think that's where they need to go. But this cable stuff, it just drives me nuts, because people just want to watch their games, and they shouldn't be beholden to the cable company telling us what channels we can get. And it really should be the ability to go a la carte, where you just pick the damn channels that you want and give me the channels that I want, and that's what I'm going to pay for. And until they figure that out, we're all getting screwed, because we're paying for stuff we don't need.
What's the better name for the Red Zone version of baseball? The strike zone, the warning track, or the batter's box? Or on deck?
I don't know what the right word is. I don't know. I've been thinking about it.
Because the red zone makes sense, because it's about all the touchdowns.
All the touchdowns that get scored. Yeah.
Strike zone.
What about scoring position?
Scoring position. That's right. Yeah.
That
scoring
sounds
position.
sexual.
Yeah, it does.
Honey, what are you doing? I'm just watching the scoring position.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Right, but you
What?
never know.
Bobby Wood Jr.'s up. I want to see what he does real quick.
Yeah. Scoring position. I mean, that if you're going to use that same type of thing, but I don't know what the right one would be for Major League Baseball.
Somebody says they have a red zone. It's called Strike Zone, but it's only on Monday and Fridays.
Yeah, that's not enough.
That is tough to do it every day of the week.
Sure it is.
Get paid for it, though.
But you get rotating people in there. It doesn't have to all be Scott
Somebody
Hansen.
says the blackout rules are stupid, too, when you purchase MLB TV.
Well, yeah, we know that. I mean, we've been arguing those for 100 years now with the blackout rules. Hopefully those are going away sooner rather than later. But they are gone now. I mean, you can get the Royals on the app for $99 for the year. If you're a Royals fan, that's less than going to a game with 4 people.
No, MLB Network Strike Zone takes viewers on a high-speed trip around the league on Wednesday and Friday nights during the season.
Okay, so it's called Strike Zone.
How dare you get it wrong? Text line, it's Wednesday and Friday, not Monday and
not
Friday.
Even, I did not know this existed.
No.
Didn't know this.
Well, that's baseball in a nutshell.
Exactly.
There you go.
You're a baseball dork. I got a text from somebody that works in the front office of a Major League Baseball team. They're like, that guy who's talking baseball, Nathan, he's pretty smart about baseball. I go, yeah, he gets it. He loves baseball, right? And you are a baseball nerd, rightfully so. And you didn't know that existed. I had vaguely heard something like that maybe out there. And Dusty's like, I didn't know it existed. And we're baseball fans. That's the problem that's why I worry about Bobby Witt.
I have the Royals on TV and I get my highlights from Twitter. That's how I consume baseball. I don't if I had something where I could whip around the league every time, I'd probably incorporate that into my viewership, but it doesn't exist. So
Bases Loaded is a title. RISP Zone, runners score position. Grand Slam TV, call it Runners In, call it.
I like Grand Slam TV. That sounds cool.
Better be a lot of Grand Slams shown. In the Hole, I don't know if we can get away with that one. The 6-4-3 Zone.
That's kind of cool. It's a mouthful, but I like it.
Or you just call it the double play. Because it's already happened once, you're watching again, it happened twice. Double play. Come on the other side, we get to our Richard of the Week on a Friday at 9 here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be cold, cold, cold over the next week or so, and you still want to get out and have a fun activity to do for you, for the family, for the kids, for your dates. It doesn't matter what you want to do, who you want to do it with. The answer is Foaling, because Foaling is perfect for everybody. It's football plus bowling plus bar, and that equals Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City. It's KC's funkiest sports entertainment venue, and they're located at 435 and State Line. It's a mashup of football and bowling, drinks, and fun. Guys, girls, anyone can foal around and find out how fun it is. Come to Foaling KC, learn all about foaling, the boncorn, and the rules to keep you on your toes. And now they've got Bar League Jeopardy every Monday night at 7 o'clock at Foaling. It's free to play with weekly prizes for first and second place, plus surprise prizes for the daily doubles. It's great for teams of up to 6, and a lot of companies now are using that as a team-building activity. You can bring your own food in, because at Foaling, you cater your own event. Wherever you want food from, bring it in. And they'll have rotating Jeopardy-themed drink specials and features every single Monday night. So check them out at FoalingKC.com. That's FoalingKC.com, and get your foal on.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
This Valentine's Day, fall in love with Hy-Vee. The classic dozen roses, just $19.99. Avoid the restaurant hassle and treat your Valentine to a home-cooked meal featuring bacon-wrapped filet, salad, bakery fresh baguette, twice-baked potatoes, vegetable, and dessert for just $35 a couple. Top it off with your favorite bottle of wine or spirits from Hy-Vee's wide selection. One stop makes this Valentine's Day the sweetest ever, only at Hy-Vee.
I love Hy-Vee for so many different reasons, but one of the things I love most about Hy-Vee is their customer service. Everyone that works at Hy-Vee is awesome. And you know what else I love about Hy-Vee? I don't have to sacrifice quality and service to get low prices. Hy-Vee just dropped the price on thousands of items in every aisle, in every department, on items I buy every day, both in-store and online. Hy-Vee even match prices with the nation's biggest discount stores. So check out Hy-Vee today and get those low prices only at Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
Now, is this a family? Is this your mother? Where is she? Is she in the crowd? The mom's up there. What kind of family is this? I'm sorry.
It Ain't Right Tour 2025.
The poor mother is in the balcony, and the kids are down here with the father and his gumad. If this was the 80s, the kids would have been up there, and the parents would have been down here.
Sebastian Maniscalco, live on stage in Kansas City. T-Mobile Center, Saturday, February 22nd. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's business solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
East side, 435 southbound gets heavy before 40 highway. Just crawls down to Raytown Road with an accident blocking the right lane. Kansas side, 69 highway northbound, still very heavy before 159th Street with an accident reporting before 151st. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Go check out 96.5 The Fan's Instagram page for videos, giveaways, and behind-the-scenes content. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2. Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Oh, Richard, I'm so happy. Hold me.
Richard of the Week.
Not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
We're almost there, fellas. Headed towards a 3-day weekend, or as I like to call it, a 4-day weekend with our time slot. Because the other day I came in here, it's like 4-day weekend, I'm coming. You're like, what do you mean? I was like, what do you mean? We have Monday off, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're like, oh.
Yeah, no, I used to do that back in my younger days, count Friday as an off day, and then you get kids and your time.
So you know how my day goes. After today, we're going to Hy-Vee. We go to Costco. We go home. And depending on what time it is, we crack a cold one.
Yeah, I'll be going to the Hy-Vee after the show as well, now that my wife got me a Valentine's gift.
Yeah, you better get there.
I got to get it.
Is
I
she
know
a
what I'm
chocolate connoisseur?
She's not. She likes gummy bears. There's Haribo gummy bears, gummy bears, so I'll get her some of those. Yeah.
Get a couple bags of those.
Yeah. I wanted dark chocolate. I've been craving dark chocolate. Yeah, it's good for. It's good. You know,
it is healthy.
They say it's good for you. One little dark chocolate square. So I've been saying I want dark
little
chocolate.
Doves.
No, she got the Ghirardelli ones that I asked for. You know, just a little square.
Daddy. Oh, Daddy.
Give me a little dark chocolate. That's how you know you're old. Dark chocolate and green tea before bed, right?
Yeah, he eats the midnight Milky Way. Richard of the Week. We do it every Friday at 9 o'clock. Mine comes from a 93-year-old man.
Oh, my.
So a 93-year-old man shot his apartment manager in both legs over water damage in his unit.
So he's a renter.
Yes.
So what does he care? It's somebody else's problem, right?
Not only this guy, 93 years old, I've tagged the photo in our rundown. You can see what he looks like. Plus, you can see that he showed up in like a Joey Cold Cuts, like gangster mafia outfit to do it. So apparently, in his apartment, there was water damage, and it got on some stuff that he wasn't really happy about.
You're 93, man. You ain't got much time left. Who cares?
So that's why he took in there with a gun. So this Richard shows up to like the like the landlord's office. Yeah, right.
The eyes on this
dude.
guy.
Dude, see,
I mean, it looks like Adam Gase's grandpa.
Yeah, and then look it looks like Grandpa Joe and Adam Gase.
He's got a suit and a top hat on, and he went like mafia style and blew this guy's legs off.
This wasn't his first hit.
No. What's this guy's name?
No idea.
Okay.
But he goes into the apartment like where the manager's office is. There's a female present. She secretly calls the police in the back room. When she comes out, he shoots like a decoy shot, like shoots the computer to the sidewall to let him know that he means business.
Right.
He then allows her to leave, then shoots the apartment manager in the leg. He, of course, falls to the ground.
Right.
Then he shoots him again, complaining multiple times about the water damage in his apartment at the age of 93 until the police come in and drag his ass out of there and put him in custody, as he is now arrested for attempted murder for a 93-year-old who looks like he literally could be Tommy DeVito's agent.
He does look like that's how he's dressed. Like Did you see that?
He was at Radio Row.
Yeah. Did you see him on the row?
I didn't. I remember you telling me he was there.
Oh, God.
So, Answer of the Week is a 93-year-old man worried about water damage. You went so far as to shooting his apartment manager in the legs, not once, but twice.
Yeah, this guy, I mean, the whole look, the eyes. I mean, it's like Adam Gase, man.
I liked it on my Twitter handle at X handle at Dusty Like It. So if you want to see the photo, it is.
I mean, him standing over the dude
That's
in that like
cold, dude.
mafia suit with the hat on. It looks
There's
like it's
video. You should watch how the police just don't care that he's 93 or 31. They drag him to the ground.
Yeah,
dude.
you're done, sir. You're going away for a very long
He
time.
did drop
6
the
months,
gun and
probably
nobody
be dead.
died. So, but he did shoot the guy twice in the leg over water damage in his apartment at the age of 93. Richard of the Week.
There's so much to unpack with that right there. It's an apartment, so it's not your problem. You're not paying for the damage,
Right.
and you're 93. If something gets ruined, you're probably not going to need that anytime
Somebody
soon.
said, "What if it's his wife's ashes?
Well, then,
Why is it on the floor?
Yeah, why is it on the floor?
Maybe it
Yeah.
wasn't on the floor. Maybe it was on the cabinet where water damage.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Like you're 93 years old. You ain't got much time left, okay? Nathan, do you have a Richard this week by chance?
Yes, I do, Bob. And my Richard.
Do you have a Richard this week, by the way,
Richard for
Nathan?
this week is C.J. Gardner-Johnson, which I'm not going to say what he said. I think everyone's seen the post that he made after the game the other night. And so from two angles here. One is it's misogynistic. It's not a good look, the comment that you made. It didn't need to be done. But two is this incessant focus of the Eagles and their fans, and really NFL fans in general, that are so focused on the Chiefs after they just won the Super Bowl. And I'm trying to avoid sour grapes here.
It's not sour grapes.
The Chiefs
no.
got their ass beat. There's no way around it. The Eagles were the better team, better coach, better prepared. There's no way around that. They slaughtered the Chiefs on Sunday. But I think about when the Chiefs won Super Bowl 54. We didn't go, take that, Tom Brady and Andrew Luck and whoever else beat us in years past. We said, oh, my God, we just won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So it signifies to me the Chiefs are the dynasty, the team that runs the league, because they are so happy that they beat the Chiefs. But I just don't understand it. And C.J. Gardner-Johnson's got to be my Richard of the Week.
Okay. So you were asking about Philadelphia fans and their parade.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's carnage, and I hope Philadelphia falls into the Delaware River. And my dad goes, yeah, it floats out to the bay. I'm like, yeah.
Did you see the picture from this morning?
I don't think I did. Are you talking about the funeral home that has R.I.P. Chiefs in front of the funeral home?
No. Pat Mahomes got cooked is the caption. These Eagles fans are going nuts. There is a pig that was smoked that they have carved out the number 15 on the torso with a knife in the back, and they put a Mahomes fro on the pig. Here is the picture for you to see.
Yeah, you won, man. Like, enjoy your win, right? Enjoy your win, because now that's going to get back to Patrick. And
But see that, and like, so
that's like too
the
much.
act of burning Kermit the Frog doesn't bother me. I don't think it bothers Patrick Mahomes either. But what is this obsession with, like, dismantling
This should be a
something
day you
with the number
celebrate
15 on it?
you and not worry about, the Chiefs and all that kind of stuff.
I'd be like, this offensive line kept the tush push alive and as successful in the run game great, even after Jason Kelsey left, even with our backup right guard. I mean, they showed up. The front four just outmanned the Chiefs' offensive line. That's what I'd be pumped about.
Yeah, you'd be excited about
but
that.
they're burning things with the number 15. I just don't get it.
Idiots. Mine goes to Ron Parker of Fox Sports Radio.
Not that guy. Andy Weed.
There it is. So that's all we need to play from that. That guy who we talked about yesterday on the show, he's my Richard of the Week for having, not arguably, that is the worst sports take I've ever heard. And I've uttered some bad ones in my life. We've all had bad takes. This one is just asinine, ridiculous, and stupid.
What, the step down, or that he called him Andy Weed?
Either one.
Yeah. Andy.
I can't even do it anymore. Ron Parker, Fox Sports Radio, Richard of the Week.
It's very well played, too. I mean, I just cannot get over this. Like, they literally carved a pig up to look like Patrick Mahomes on a parade.
And, buying a whole swine is not cheap.
No.
Like, they invested some dough into that. I hope they got nice meat on it.
Spent all night smoking it to take to the parade, to carve out the number 15, to put a knife in the back, and then put a little, Mahomes, afro,
right?
Whatever.
This is Philly and St. Louis both being the same type of fans, where we're like, Philly will never be New York, St. Louis will never be Chicago or Kansas City. They're insecure about who they are. So instead of just celebrating themselves like we did, they're out here doing the opposite, and it's trying to bring down somebody that you've already beaten up, man.
And the thing that's crazy is, I will say this, because this is for the 913, and I disagree with this, and that's okay. People get tired of hearing Chiefs fans talk blank and act like their team is the invincible all year. Chiefs fans turned into what they used to hate. This is where you're wrong, and I understand it. Chiefs fans can be annoying. I get it. We're the best team. We're going for a 3-peat, blah, blah, blah. We're not, taking eagles and stabbing them like a stuffed eagle and stabbing it. When they beat the 49ers last year, I know they don't really have a mascot, but it wasn't like we had 49ers jerseys and we're putting knives in them, or carving out a pig and putting Christian McCaffrey's number in there. That to me is where it's different. And I experienced it. I was in New Orleans. I watched these Philly fans do things that Chiefs fans don't do. Are they proud of their team? Absolutely. Do they love their team? 100%. Are Chiefs fans annoying? Totally agree. But we aren't the same. That's not fair. We are not out here doing what they're doing, going up, and they just won a Super Bowl not that long ago with Nick Foles.
Yeah, that's the other thing. This isn't like their first Super Bowl victory, and they don't know how to behave. Like when you have caddy day at the club or something like that. This is what this is kind of reminiscent of. They're in the wrong spot. They're used to being losers, and now the Eagles finally are winners, and their fan base just doesn't know how to behave. And look, you said you lived it. I had to live in the hotel with these people.
Yeah. I mean, I was going back carrying equipment in my backpack with Mac, and I was like, just keep your head down and walk fast. Because they were coming out of the bar like it was like The Last of Us, and they just got bit in the shoulder. They're like, you're just like, holy cow, who is that person?
I mean,
which, I'd be fair, if Chiefs won, we'd have probably gone out and got wasted. But I mean, look, we're not, smoking swines and carving numbers and putting little haircuts on them.
I wouldn't even have mentioned Philadelphia moving forward had we won that game. We beat the Eagles. We won a championship. It's about us. Winners know how to win, and losers don't. And Philadelphia has been a bunch of losers for a very long time. Do you know the Eagles, with that championship, that became their 5th championship, tying the Philadelphia Athletics for the most championships in their city's history. So the Philadelphia Athletics, who are now the Sacramento Athletics. So to say that they've experienced winning a lot in Philadelphia wouldn't be the case. Again, it's the Beverly Hillbillies celebrating a Super Bowl championship. That's what Philadelphia is.
Coming up on the other side, a trade that could happen in the NFC that could shock the NFL world before the draft even starts. Pardon me. Happy Valentine's Day. Fesco, Nathan, Dusty here on 96.5 The Fan. You're home. Okay? This is City Sports.
Fesco and Dusty.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Men, this is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and you've heard me talk a lot about how treating low testosterone can improve your sleep, your workouts, your energy levels, and more. But today I want to talk to you about your sex drive, because low testosterone can have a significant impact on your desire for intimacy. It can even be a factor in erectile dysfunction, and if you're in a relationship or wanting to be in a relationship, a low sex drive could really be a problem. The good news is that if you're like most guys, treating your low testosterone could really change the way you feel about sex, giving you back the flame and desire that is so important when you love someone. So if you're feeling sluggish and tired, if you're not sleeping well, if your workouts aren't that great, and most of all, if your sex drive is more like a putt, make an appointment at Heartland Men's Health and have your testosterone levels checked. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, Your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My check engine light's on?
That could hurt your gas mileage. The AutoZone free Fix Finder service can help find the fix for free.
Get in zone.
This whole report for free?
That's right, printed and on your phone for free.
Get in zone.
But what if the fix is too tough?
We'll recommend a local shop. Fix Finder, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Okay, so that's with bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato, grilled onions, ketchup, and hold the pickles.
You know what you like. You wouldn't order your burger just any way. Why should your sports talk be any different? With Chapters on the free Odyssey app, you can choose the topics that matter to you most. Whether it's reactions, matchup previews, injury updates, or team news, quickly find what you really care about. Your football talk, your way. Download the free Odyssey app and start listening today.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. And good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with TrueHold. Sell and stay leaseback program. It's a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all the equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Expect mostly cloudy skies today with a high of 39.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Robert Half's recruiting professionals use their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. Learn more at roberthalf.com/talent today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Getting through a Friday, a little past 9 o'clock. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody in Kansas City. We wish you the best. Somebody's mentioned you and Richard of the Week, not in the same sentence, kind of, but not like in that way. Not in that way, Bob, so don't worry. Let me see if I can go back and find it. But they said, I want to nominate my wife for not Richard of the Week. And I feel it's because they have something that you know about that, I don't know. Yeah, here it is. Bob. Just announcing that my wife is not the Richard of the Week. She just texted me that she canceled our dinner reservations for tonight with a picture of a freshly delivered cat's birthday box.
Oh.
Pound of pastrami and corned beef, rye bread, half and full sours, etc. So I don't know if that
Nice. Am I invited? Where are you located now? Katz's is the best. You want to order New York corned beef and pastrami. Katz's is the place where. I'll
have what she's having.
What she's having, right? Yeah. It's. I mean, I used to go as a kid, and I've taken Spectre there. I've taken Josh there. Who else have I taken there? My wife, whatnot. But it's tremendous, and you could order via mail, and it's actually not that expensive. For like, if you order $100 of food, it's free shipping. You're gonna order. I mean, you just are in this day and age, right? Oh my God, it's so good. It's the best. Congratulations to you. You got a great wife.
Yeah. Hey, dinner's canceled. What? Took me 3 months to get that reservation. Well, we got cats coming. I love you.
Yes. We got corned beef. We got pastrami. We got half sours. We've got.
What? Can I ask what sours are?
Pickles. There's half sours and full sours. Yeah, the half sours are a little less pickled than the full sour.
Is that like a Northeastern thing?
I guess. Yeah, yeah. Half sour, full sour. Half sours are a lot greener than the full sour. They've been pickled a little bit longer. You order your matzo ball soup. You can get.
Are they sour or just more like vinegary, like bitter?
Yeah, I don't find them to be sour.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but everybody's got their own taste. Like people, is it good? I like it. Maybe you won't, but I do. But no, I don't like the full sour. They're too. I like it's a crisp pickle. It's like a small
snapper.
Yeah, it's like been pickled for like 2 or 3 days type of thing. It hasn't been fermented, if you will, but it's so good. And then you can order Bialys too, which is a flat bagel, which are phenomenal. And they do have babka. I believe you can get your chocolate babka from there as well. And so we order about once or twice a year, and me and my friend Paul will order some stuff at times too.
Did you see like Valentine's Day, you can get like your anus turned into chocolate?
Sorry, what?
Like you can get your anus like made out of chocolate, where they like do a mold and then you can get like chocolate pieces that are just your anus. I'm dead serious. Look it up, Nathan. Dude, type in anus chocolate.
No.
Okay.
On the company computer right here.
Like that computer's going to hold strong for another 24 hours? I think it'll crash and erase history immediately.
That would be the final straw for this computer.
I heard Jorge is building this new studio.
That'd be tight.
Yeah, Jorge, the Reply All guy, he's building a new studio, which is great. So maybe that computer will be gone here before we know it. Yeah, but do not look that up on the company computer. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
No, I'm dead serious. Edible anus. That's what the website's called. And it's where you can make chocolates. We're delighted to announce that we can now sell and ship our products to the European countries. Click here, slide smoothly over our EU stores. And you can literally do it.
Did they do that in America, or is that just,
No, I mean, it kind of looks like those chocolate-covered oranges, if I'm being serious. But see, look, it comes in a nice box. I don't lie. Like, everyone's always like,
you can get edible chocolate anuses here in America. Yeah.
You can?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Where have you seen this? Missouri side?
It's everywhere, Bob. It's not just a Missouri thing. I'm telling you.
Nathan and I were like, okay.
I'm serious. I mean, it is what it is.
Where is this going?
Nothing better than Uranus chocolate. That's true.
Well, that place, Uranus Cheese Shop that they have there, where you go look at Uranus when you're going down to the lake, where they have the cheese. I know Binkley.
Is that Osceola?
No, it's the Uranus. Oh, it's the Uranus Fudge Factory. That's what it is. It's the Osceola Cheese Factory, but Uranus Fudge Factory, yes.
All right. Somebody says you have to be a psycho to get something like that. That's just really funny.
Is it yours, or is it like just generic?
I hope it's not generic. Speaking of not generic, there was a coach that said it's hard to coach Patrick Mahomes.
That's right, yes. Joe Blameyer. Have you heard of Joe Blameyer before?
Brockmeyer?
Yes, exactly. That show kind of fizzled, didn't it?
Season 1 was great, then it just ran out of steam.
It ran out of steam so fast.
It just was the same show 2 years in a row, and it was new, it was different, and then you're like, now it's just kind of done with it.
Yeah, kind of move on from that. So Joe Blameyer, he's the passing game coordinator for the Chiefs. And he was asked about Patrick Mahomes. And this is the article from ESPN. When a coach realizes his quarterback could be the greatest of all time, it should be a feeling of pure joy, right? Well, not the case for Patrick Mahomes. It makes it so much more stressful, Chiefs passing game coordinator Joe Blameyer told ESPN on Wednesday of Super Bowl week. You feel the burden as a coach, and you're putting a game plan together to not waste his abilities, to not go through a season where you don't give him the opportunity, to not screw it up as the coaching staff. So rather than feeling like this is just unbridled excitement that we could do anything, it's actually more like a terror. Like we cannot be the reason that we screwed this guy up or this team up. Every week when Blameyer puts together the game plan with Andy Reid, Matt Nagy, and the chief staff, he wonders, are we utilizing him the best? Are we giving him the stuff that he needs? It's just constantly second-guessing ourselves just so that he has everything he needs to go be himself. You're stress coaching Patrick Mahomes?
And he said this
Wednesday of Super Bowl week, and it's just now coming out this week, right?
Sounds like someone who knew that offensive line was about to get cooked.
Maybe.
On Sunday. That's what that sounds like to me.
Maybe it does, yeah. But I mean, like, you're coaching Patrick Mahomes. That the fact that you're out there saying it's very stressful, it's much more stressful to coach Patrick Mahomes. I got Brian Dable who will say, hold my beer. I had to coach Daniel Jones, or I have to coach Kyler Murray, or I've got to coach Trevor, or I got to coach any other quarterback in the NFL not named Patrick Mahomes. You want to talk about stress coaching somebody. If coaching Patrick Mahomes is too stressful for Joe Blameyer, maybe he shouldn't be coaching Patrick Mahomes.
So I want to take this from a different perspective. A, I think it's poor choice of words. And B, I don't 100% disagree. But I think they play off of each other in both those takes. Because I think if you were to say the pressure to coach Mahomes is insanely tough, I would agree. Because you have the greatest quarterback in the sport and maybe the most talented quarterback we've ever seen play the game. You're in the Super Bowl playing against one of the more talented teams of the other division in the NFC. This kid is 29 years old, and you want to win as much as you can, do historic things, win a three-peat, and it's like, hey, is Patrick Mahomes ready? Is he good to go? Does he know the game plan? Do you have? It's like, yes. Oh my gosh, there's just so much pressure to make sure everything's right. And earlier in the show, I compared it to a Ferrari. I'll compare it now to like a really nice boat. You ever gone out on a really nice boat with your buddies? Mm-hmm. And at the very end of the day and during the entire time, yeah, the boat ride is nice. It's one of the better ones. Maybe it's a pontoon that's really high up in price. But when you're out there, you don't want to spill your drink, but you're going over wakes. You don't want to, get something wrong with the boat. And then at the very end of the day, when you get off the boat, everybody's going to help wipe it down. Everybody's going to help tie it up. Everybody's going to help put the little buttons that go all the way down the boat. And it's very stressful. It's very, there's a lot of pressure into doing what you got to do to make sure your friend doesn't, not invite you again. So I think that part of the perspective is like Patrick Mahomes is this luxury item that you have to be cautious around and you want to make sure that everything's right. But in the grand scheme of it all, I'm with you. If you're not prepared to do this, then you need to read the room before you sign up for this.
Yeah.
Like if you signed up to do radio and then you're like, it's just really stressful to talk for 4 hours, you're in the wrong industry.
Yeah.
You should go do a podcast.
You think Andy Reid thinks it's stressful to coach Patrick Mahomes?
Not him per
No.
se, but I mean, I bet it's stressful for people that work under Brett Veach.
I think it's stressful during this three-peat run, right? Like this year was probably to make sure we get there to accomplish something with all that pressure on you, right? I can understand that. It was stressful for all of us. We all wanted to get there to that Super Bowl. But to say it's stressful to coach Patrick Mahomes when that's a guy who basically takes everybody's mistakes and corrects them, and you don't even know that he's correcting your mistakes right there in front of you. Like, if you were to tell me it's stressful to coach Aaron Rodgers, like if Mike McCarthy came out and said, guys, it is stressful to coach Aaron Rodgers. Because, and it was because Aaron Rodgers wasn't about the team. He was all about himself. He was all about being a narcissist and running the organization. Like, it was stressful for Mike McCarthy to coach Aaron Rodgers. And the fact that they got a Super Bowl out of that thing, it looks remarkable right now. Or if Robert Saleh goes, my God, having Aaron Rodgers here, that was the most stressful thing ever. I can definitely see that. But Patrick Mahomes is the guy that's friends with everybody on the roster, can go hang out with the defensive linemen, the offensive tackles, the left guard. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. He can hang out with everybody and be that likable guy, which is what your quarterback should be. It should not be a stressful situation for Joe Blameyer to coach Patrick Mahomes. It should be a fun, unique situation thinking, man, we've got the ability to do whatever we want with this guy. And if it doesn't work, maybe he corrects it on the field, or maybe we just hit the reset button and do it again. Like the wording, the
release of the article,
the release of the article.
If it was
when
done
it came
Wednesday
out,
for the Super Bowl, release it Thursday, release it Friday,
right? Yeah,
Saturday.
Right.
Like, why are you releasing it on the Wednesday before the Thursday before or after the Super Bowl? Like,
right.
There's a little bit of I don't know. There's a little bit of hogwash here, in my opinion. I think it's bad wording. I think it's somewhat true, and I think the release of the article is BS.
Right.
In my opinion. Now, should he have said these things? Probably not. But also, if you're going to say these things, make sure you've got it worded correctly.
Yeah, you can't say it's like a terror coaching Patrick Mahomes, and it's stressful to coach Patrick Mahomes because every other coach in the NFL would look at you and go, are you out of your mind, bro? Like, have you seen my quarterback? Like, maybe Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and now Jaden Daniels, maybe they don't feel stressful coaching those guys. But every other team in the NFL, I got Slappy McSlapperson as my quarterback out here. You want to talk about stress? I'm trying to save my job. I'm trying to save his job. Like, we're coaching to save our jobs, and we got Lou Gotts playing quarterback. You got Patrick Mahomes playing quarterback, and you think it's a terror and it's stressful? Oh, pal, go pound sand is what the rest of the NFL would say to you. I mean, that's like if Q came out and goes, you just don't know how stressful it is, managing Bobby Witt to make sure. What? Or the Dodgers manager, Dave Roberts. Managing Shohei Ohtani is very stressful. I'll take your stress, pal. I'll take your stress and raise you this guy.
Yeah, right in that Dodgers lineup every day has got to be just
it's got to be
stressful
just
time for
stress
Dave
ball,
Roberts.
yeah. Stressful.
I mean, I think it is stressful for Dave Roberts because if you don't win 110 games, go to the World Series, you're fired.
Yeah.
So that is, to me, I think that is stressful.
That's fine. But to say, hey, we were stressed all season to get back to this third Super Bowl, it built and built and built, use it as an all-encompassing, we were all stressed to get back. But to talk about Mahomes like that, making it so stressful to coach it, it's a terror. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, every coach in the NFL would give their left nut to coach Patrick Mahomes.
And they're right.
Yeah.
I'll give them both.
I mean, I swear to God, if you went to every head coach and said, we got to take both of your toys away from you there, but you get to coach Patrick Mahomes, they'd all sign up for it.
Yeah. Somebody from the 816 goes, it's stress coaching against Mahomes.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right? Yeah. Think about the guy who's got to go toe for toe with you.
Did you see the audio of the Super Bowl where Sirianni and Kellen Moore are talking about before they throw the touchdown to Devonta Smith?
I can't watch any of that.
Kellen Moore's like, well, do you want to call it? And your boy Sirianni goes, call it. We score, it's over. And it's the play over the top to Devonta Smith. He catches it, beautiful throw for Hurts. And then Nick Sirianni looks like a 7-year-old just on the playground, and he gets checked by a coach. He's out there. It'll make you really want to get football started
again
because they play Philly next year. So
yeah.
I mean, and it's in Philly or it's in Kansas City.
It's here. Oh yeah, the Arrowhead's going to be loud when they come here.
That screams Sunday Night Football.
I would think so. Unless they sell that game separately to I don't know whatever.
Or it could be
Hulu.
Monday because normally Thursdays are normally conference games. You'd think, right? Like that might be a Chargers Denver game.
Yeah, it seems like we do play a lot of AFC West games on those Thursday nights.
Easy sells because
it could be the Christmas Day game.
God,
but do you want to wait that long to have that rematch?
The Chiefs lost the Super Bowl. Do they really get to play Christmas again? Make Philly play in Christmas.
Yeah, here's what I'm thinking too. We shouldn't have as many primetime games because we're not the Super Bowl champs, but we will because we're still the best team in the league. But I don't think they want to wait to have that Eagles-Chiefs game late, at least the way that I'm judging it. Like, you want to see those two teams in, week 2 on Sunday Night Football when both of them are still healthy.
I agree.
Does Travis Kelce retiring affect the primetime games?
Well, I think a little bit, sure, because Taylor won't be there. Yeah. I think it does a little bit, yeah, which is fine. If we have less primetime games and more noon games, I'm all in.
Man. I mean, still being the best team in the AFC and getting 7 noon games in a season would be Christmas.
Yeah, oh, God, yes.
That got asked, what do you want for Christmas? I was like, don't eat anything.
Noon games.
I finally get to watch a game at noon on a Sunday and not have to worry about going to bed immediately afterwards. I could.
Yeah.
But I won't.
But, I mean, you're right, Nathan. Think about, every opponent. Think about John Harbaugh and Pete Carroll and Sean Payton twice a year, the stress that they go through to say, okay, what did I say? John
too.
Him too, yeah. Sean McDermott. All these guys who have had to go against Patrick Mahomes and constantly lose. You want to talk about stress. The stress is preparing for Patrick Mahomes, not getting Patrick Mahomes prepared to play. And if that stresses you out, man, go sell insurance.
And that guy's the passing coordinator?
Passing game coordinator. That's what they said. Yes, Chiefs passing game coordinator, Joe Blameyer.
I say you just bring back Kafka, Bieniemy, Peterson, Nagy. Just bring it all back. Let everybody just, talk to each other the same way they want to.
Could you imagine Bieniemy in that room if Blameyer said that what Bieniemy would do to him? You want to talk about stress? I had to go work for Dan Snyder for a year.
He'd be like, stress is my fist up your ass.
Yeah, I mean, like, it makes it so much more stressful having Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, Joe Blameyer says.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
It's like a terror. Having Mahomes is like a terror, the man said.
No, I just think that...
I understand you don't want to screw him up and there's pressure to win. I get all that.
Yeah.
But the other stuff
I just think it's worded wrong. I think the article releasing is just classic media, right? Like, oh, send this out after the blowout loss. Or we hold on to it and we release it we never write it.
Right.
You know, it's like we did interviews on Radio Row that were like, yeah. You could release it if however you want to, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think that he meant to say the things that he said the way that he said it. But again, maybe just pass on those questions. Be like, yeah, I'm not going to do this.
What's it like coaching Patrick Mahomes? The greatest thing in my life. I'm so blessed to coach Patrick Mahomes. That's what you say.
Yeah, I mean, or you just...
In the words of Marshawn Lynch, I'm tired of shit, America. We getting fired anyway, Ernie. Fuck it.
Just be Shaq on TNT, man. I'm tired. We're getting fired anyway. F it. I mean, what a guy Shaq is. But no, I don't know. We can wrap that article up and be done talking about it. But yeah, I'm sure he got a very, very stern meeting.
Well, I can tell you there's not a lot of happy people about that article.
Like, is that going to cost him his job?
I don't know. Because if you're saying those things, are you cut out to be doing that job?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Or maybe you give him a chance to have rebuttal and be like, what'd you really mean by this?
Oh, you definitely call him in and say, what's going on here?
What was this about? And some weasel reporter brought me to a room. It was like, is it stressful? Is it tough? And I was telling him yeah, some of these words are the same. It's like, I don't know if you can.
Even from a PR perspective, like Andy and Patrick and Travis are also polished in what they say to the media.
Right.
From that angle, they have to be like, man, what are you doing saying this?
Yeah.
'Cause I do get what he's saying. Mahomes is great. We want to get the most out of him. You didn't say that, though,
right.
and now it's all over the internet.
Yeah.
It's a bad look.
It's a bad look. What you say is we have the greatest quarterback of our generation. We want to make sure we win as many championships as possible.
Sure.
We all work extra hours. It's unbelievably fun, and I wouldn't want to be doing it anywhere else with anybody else.
Yeah, you could say I work harder because I have him, and he motivates me to want to, But I don't. That's just not what he said.
See, and that's a great rebuttal right there. Is that you as the coach could have said, coaching Patrick Mahomes is making me better as a coach because I have to be at the top of my game all the time because he's at the top of his game all the time, and he expects everybody to be at the top of their game. Fine.
Or you can just be like, have you seen Mahomes play? There's no stress involved whatsoever. I say, hey, go throw the ball to the open guy.
Yeah.
Go make something happen.
I mean, he takes all the stress off our plates because you self-deprecate in that situation too. Hey, look, we're just coaches, man. We're not that great. Patrick Mahomes makes us look great. He takes the stress away from us. We know if we make a mistake, he's going to cover our mistake. How hard is this?
913-586-7965. We've said it all day. If you need a little bit of a shout-out to your significant other on a Valentine's Day, because it is Valentine's Day, we can do that for you. We can get you some brownie points because we're going to help you and you're going to help us. Because then you're going to tell them to listen to the radio station, and that's going to get us help, and we're going to help you by getting you laid. That's just how it came out. I'm sorry to say it that way, but this is 96.5 The Fan. Coming up, we'll wrap this show up on a Friday and get you set up for the weekend. It's Nathan, it's Bob, it's Dusty. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty.
What the hell's wrong with your station?
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, you see the snow out there right now, but before you know it, it'll all be melted, and it will be time to get your lawn ready for spring. And this year, I've decided I'm not doing it anymore. I can't continue to go out there and try to get my lawn looking right because I don't know what I'm doing. And that's why I'm calling Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. These guys have college degrees in making sure that they know how good your lawn is going to look. I'm going to let them handle everything. They went to school for it. I didn't. I'm a weekend guy that tries to grow some grass. It hasn't worked for us. It's been years of us trying to fix our our lawn. And so now we're going to the professionals over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. They get the job done right the first time. And you've seen those blue iconic trucks all over Kansas City. And they're always parked in front of the nicest lawns in town. They have award-winning services, and they've been doing it since 1985. They offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control. And that's what I love, too, the pest control in the summertime, to not have the mosquitoes and bugs out in the backyard. I can't wait for Aspen Lawn and Pest Control to come over and take care of my yard. Right now, you're going to get a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you told them you heard it right here on 96.5 The Fan. So don't wait. Call, or better yet, visit aspenlawn.com today. That's aspenlawn.com.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Target, checking off your Valentine's Day list has never been easier. First, surprise your favorite people with something extra thoughtful, like a soothing candle and a memorable scent, or a decorative picture frame to show off every moment. Both buy one, get one 50% off with Target Circle. And don't forget to treat yourself. Find the sweetest style for your special occasion with 20% off women's dresses now through Friday. This week, find Valentine's gifts for everyone you love, only at Target.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My check engine light's on?
That could hurt your gas mileage. The AutoZone free Fix Finder service can help find the fix for free.
Get in zone.
This whole report for free?
That's right, printed and on your phone for free.
Get in zone.
But what if the fix is too tough?
We'll recommend a local shop. Fix Finder, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
March is almost here, and college basketball is reaching its most exciting stretch of the season. Right now, new customers on FanDuel can get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $150 extra bucks to bet on everything from conference clashes to tournament upsets, and even who's cutting down the nets. If you've been waiting to join FanDuel, there's no better time. The app is easy to use, and when you win, you'll get paid instantly. So visit FanDuel.com/Alex and get in on the college hoops action before March takes over. FanDuel is an official sports betting partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Somebody says, is Dusty going to get pulled into the boss's office in 15 minutes for that? Nope. Ooh, 15 minutes be hitting the road.
Yeah, man. Hitting the high V, baby.
And gone. Thanks again, Nathan, for filling in for Mac as he licks his wounds.
I can't believe he's still
just distraught, man.
Yeah. Again, we talked about at the beginning of the show. It's a generational thing of how people are kind of handling this loss. I feel like the old folks like myself and older are like, all right, that sucked. We got kind of back on our feet Tuesday, maybe Wednesday at the latest, and we move forward. And then you got Mac, who's like curled up in a bed sucking his thumb.
And I just got a report that said he said it's just really stressful to produce for Buzz Fest. Figured you'd like that one.
Really good. Well played there. Yeah, I do like that.
I don't know, man. It's just like we're trying to get him all this stuff, all these drops, sounders. It's really stressful working with Bob and Dusty. You have no idea.
Yeah, go work with Cody and Gold and see how stressed. I kid, obviously, but I mean, yeah, back to the.
Well, you could work with them. They're off.
Yeah, that's
Cody
true.
Gold and Mac all have the same thing today. They're not at work.
Yeah, I wonder what that is, huh? It's Chiefs flu.
I mean, Carrington's here. Binkley's here.
I mean, Binkley's hosting 10-2 by him, so I can't wait to get in the car at 10 o'clock and hear Jay Binkley spit takes.
Rip him out.
What do you think? What do you think he's going to lead with?
I bet he rips Philadelphia fans. That would be my guess.
You think so?
That's my guess.
Okay.
And then I bet he rips the national media after that.
There's a great chance of the national media
What are
getting
the
torn
odds?
up.
Mahomes took a step back at 29. I didn't take a step back till 46. Took a few steps back.
Binkley and Gruden have a baby?
Oh, yeah.
It's true. It is.
Literally what he'll say. Hey, Philly fans, act like you've been there before. All right? Act like you've done it before. Because you did with Nick Foles. And you got Andy Reid. You know where Andy Reid went? With the damn Chiefs. Take a step back. He's 29. You don't take a step back at 29. You take 5 steps forward. Yeah. Coming up next, talk to Drew about college football. The only thing that makes sense. You know Mahomes with Texas Tech? I had him propped to go to the Chiefs or Deshaun Watson. Mock draft 1.0 is coming. Yeah.
Yes! He slips into left tackle college prospects in the first segment. Book it.
Okay.
Book it.
Do you know that's what he's doing?
No, I have no idea.
Because I know he kind of poked his head in there. I didn't know if he told you what he was going to do.
Nah, he's just saying what's up. So I have no inside information.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's see what. They have 3 segments in their first hour?
No, they just do the 2 segments an hour.
Still?
I think
so.
so.
I thought they broke at 15. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, man. I mean, well, he might lead with this. You know, today's not a holiday.
Oh, that's right. Valentine's Day. He had that take.
Good point.
Wait, was it Valentine's Day or Halloween?
He hates Halloween because he thought Chris McCaffrey got hurt because he dressed up as the Tin Man with
That's
Dorothy.
right. Yeah, with Dorothy. Yeah, he hated
Tough take.
that. Was a bad take. That
he was dropping
agreed
a
with.
deuce, ripping his take in there with us. He's like,
yeah.
hey, it sucks. It smells worse than this thing I'm doing right now, Bob.
Yeah, and we're like, that's not a good take. Do not go to the air with that. And he did. So, yeah, he'll have a Valentine's Day.
He'll be like, hey, did you get
It's a holiday for the credit card
company. Make fun of Drew because he's married.
Right.
Hey, did you get your little heart with the name on it, Drew? You're my first pick in the Valentine's Day draft.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's going to.
Binkley will draft Candy today.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Drew, did you get your heart-shaped pizza from Papa Murphy's? I heard Dustman talking about it. It's actually not a bad idea. It's only $5. I'll put a pizza cutter with a crooked edge down the middle called Broken Heart Pizza.
Yeah, well, she did steal the pizza cutter, so he's not going to be able to do that.
That's tough.
Yeah. Take anything you want, not my pizza cutter.
I mean, think about that's where you're at in life. Just please don't take the pizza cutter.
I just thought about it.
You can take the dresser.
Take the damn house. Just leave the pizza cutter.
You take my grandmother's ring. Don't you dare take the pizza cutter.
And what did she do? She took the pizza cutter.
Better believe it.
Damn right she did.
Never let him see you sweat. Never show your weakness. So here we go. We're off Monday. Kind of nice. Little 3-day / 3.5 day weekend.
Yeah, it's good.
Any big plans, or is there still youth sports going on for you?
Well, I mean, we're looking outside, so I think we've already got that canceled.
I didn't know they were in basketball season still.
No. There's nothing over the weekend. Kids been off of school. They need to get back. They're ready. I think
Did they have school today?
No, they were off. Yeah. I mean, these were scheduled days off, and then the snow hit, so the whole week was basically washed out because of that. No, these were planned days off, Thursday and Friday. Wednesday, obviously, was not. But I think this is a good weekend to kind of just decompress a little bit. Like, there's no NBA, there's no NHL. But tomorrow night, like, if you're looking for something fun to watch on TV from a sports standpoint, USA, Canada, and the Four Nations, shootout that's going on in hockey. Watched us kick Finland's ass last night, 6-1. Canada hates us. And I was talking to Binkley about it last night. And you want to talk. This is maybe where Binkley rips a take later today. He is so mad that the Canadians were booing us last night during the national anthem that when this Four Nations thing flips to Boston, he thinks Boston's going to get revenge on Canada and boo the Canadian national anthem when these games get started on stateside. Like, he is not happy that this went down last night with the booing of the national anthem.
I mean, there's three things you don't disrespect Binkley with: the United States of America, the NFL, and mock drafts.
That's right.
You get into those backyards, you're going to get bit by the dog.
Mm-hmm. So that's really it from a sports standpoint this weekend, is that NHL, because the NBA's on All-Star break.
Have a bunch of college basketball games that are great this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you don't enjoy it, but that's also sports. Like Auburn, Alabama plays Saturday. That game will be electric.
I'll ask you about him in 3 weeks during the conference tournament. How's this team doing?
How does this team do?
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I just don't care anymore.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a sport fall off as much as college basketball has. I was
Baseball.
talking. I think baseball.
After 2001, baseball was. I mean, it nosedived.
I know.
Nosedive.
But now it's coming back. I feel like, right?
Yeah,
like, do you guys feel like that is coming back, right?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that kid that got swallowed by the whale and then spit back up.
Did you see that video over the weekend? You want to talk about? I mean,
wild. And that was his dad recording. That was his son and his father, and his father's recording.
Oh my!
If you haven't seen the video, a whale.
I mean, it's like real life.
Swallows a kid on a kayak.
Moby Dick.
Yeah, or Noah. And swallows a kid in a whale and then spits him out. And the dad's recording. So I can imagine, like, your life. Hey, son, great. There's a giant whale. Oh, my God. And he's back.
I mean, like, it was insanity. I mean, this whale comes up and eats this guy. And it's like, oh, my God. And then all of a sudden he just fires him out and spits him out. It was crazy. Like, it's real.
Dusty, help me get laid with my girl, Katie Ann. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you, Katie from Logan.
There you go, Logan.
There you go. Somebody says your Binkley impression cracks me up. I feel like it's a mix between Gruden and Bink. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man.
He's Bink and Gruden's love child right there.
Pretty much. Yeah, I know Mac. Yeah, no, he's gonna be pissed.
Who, Binkley?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody on Valentine's Day's happy, but really what's really the news is that the Chiefs signed Bailey Zappi.
That's right. Who do you think in sports is Bink's Valentine?
Oh, Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes, you think so? All right.
He's going right there. Remember how they used to do it back in the day? I don't know if they still do Valentine's Day the same. You wrote on the card. You built a shoebox Valentine. You put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Got another Valentine's from this J person, says Patrick to Brittany. I don't know who he is, but, spitting hot takes over there.
Jay would be like the principal in
no, please do not say Tommy Boy. Not Tommy Boy.
Billy Madison. Billy, will you be my Valentine? P.S. I'm horny. Patrick. He was supposed to pitch me when he was out of air. I didn't mean it. Yeah, so we're at. Okay, let's see if we can get this parlay because we're all listening at 10. I hope he's not listening to us now because it affects the bet.
No, he's out there having a conversation with somebody. So.
Show open from 10 to 2 with Binkley. Crushes Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day sucks. Yep.
Crushes Philly fans.
Right.
Yeah, act like you've been there before. I mean, you have.
Right.
Philly. And then mock draft. Do we get that all in the 10 o'clock hour? And if so, are you tailing that parlay?
Yeah, I think we get all
So
that.
we get draft Philly and Valentine's Day in the first 25 minutes.
Oh, I agree.
100%.
Yeah.
And then do we throw in an extended leg on there and say left tackle talk?
In the first hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So you think you could parlay that into the mock draft and left tackle? because he's going to say a name that you've never heard of.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could go back and read a history book and just find a name, and it would make more sense than, let me tell you about this guy named Jack Denver. He played at Iowa State. Nobody knows who he is. Great. Black for Brock Purdy's a freshman. Happy Valentine's Day to all you lovebirds. Happy Valentine's Day to you and Jen and your kids. Happy birthday to you and your lady
to all
Nathan.
y'all.
Happy Valentine's Day to Kansas City. Again, go do something nice for somebody. You never know. It could change their day, week, month, or even their year. It's simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay kind, stay safe. Coming up next, it's Bailey, Zappi, and Drew from 10 to 2.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness